Hey guys, welcome to On the Fly. That's Blue.
That's D.
And we're here with Gio.
Hey guys, what's up?
So excited that you're here. Thank you so very much for being here.
We normally start the podcast off with having a drink, making yourselves a drink, having a shot. What are you drinking, D?
I am drinking this Black Cherry Flying Embers hard kombucha. It's pretty good, dude. It's 7.2% alcohol. Whoa, kombucha. What the fuck?
I didn't
Coming at you.
You could mix alcohol with kombucha.
Yeah, neither did I. But you can, and it tastes really, really good. And then obviously I have tequila too. So we'll take shots of tequila today.
El Jimador, is that what you have?
That is correct.
I'm drinking Dos Equis because I know lots of shots and things are gonna get weird, and Avion, and then a Gatorade back. What are you drinking?
Just trying to stay hydrated, get those electrolytes.
I've got a bottle of Altos tequila.
Nice.
And I'm drinking straight from the bottle, and then some tequila and OJ and a Romeo and Juliet cigar.
Ooh, I love it.
These days when we have you back, Gio, we should all go outside this summer and puff on cigars.
Ooh, yeah, Romeo and Juliet cigars. Reminds me of that movie with Claire Danes and Leonardo DiCaprio. Yes.
What movie?
Romeo and Juliet.
They smoke cigars. Oh, you mean the movie?
Yeah. I mean, they were smoking cigars in that movie too.
You just worked like cigars into Shakespeare somehow.
Yeah.
Hey,
I actually hate
stay
that.
Stay classy, California.
Yeah, I like the old school, the one we used to watch in school, you know, like the Olivia, what was her name? Olivia.
It's the black and white one?
Yeah, the black and white one.
The old school one. Yeah, I remember that. That's a good one too.
I smoked a cigar on my birthday once, and I was like, yeah, I'm turning 34 or something, and I was like, I'm gonna smoke cigars on my birthday. And I was like, oh, this is not what
Did you inhale it? Did you inhale it? Like, did you get it in your lungs?
No, you're not supposed to, right?
I know you're not, but like, did you? Because you know what happens. You know you're gonna choke on it. Let's be real.
People do that time, and they'll never do it again. Like, makes you turn green, man, for real.
No, I just did the puff, but I was like, I don't get it.
It's a lot. It's a lot. Not to inhale, just like roll it in your mouth. Just puff it out. Yeah. I'm an inhaler. I like to inhale that shit. Fill my whole lungs with something.
RD?
Yeah, I know. I don't really like it. I'm not a big fan. I mean, I can't, like I said, I can't do that whole puff thing and just keep it in my mouth. I somehow will inhale it and I don't like it.
Eat it?
So just don't smoke it.
I love the smell of them.
I love the smell. It reminds me of my grandpa, for sure. That and pipes.
So we should probably introduce Gio and how we all met. I don't know who met who first. Gio,
wait, can we take a shot real quick?
Yeah.
Okay, so Gio's taking shots straight from the friggin' bottle. So he's being OG against like. I'll take one out of the shot glass.
Come on, D. Don't be a pussy.
Oh man. Cheers. Yeah. All right, guys. That was really one. Good.
We should have like a little meter on the bottom of like bing, bing, bing.
Yeah. Oh man.
Do you want to document that?
Oh Jamie, you're on that, right? Little meter.
Yeah, little shot meter.
Okay, so what were you saying?
So who'd you meet first, Gio? Because we all somewhat met around the same time, I would imagine.
I met you at a bar you were working at. So I don't know if it was Ari's bar then, but I may have met you at Surf City Saloon. Maybe.
You met at Surf City?
I think so, yeah. I think the first time I met you was there.
Oh, okay. And then you definitely met D after.
I met D at second floor.
Okay. I remember everybody hanging out with you at second floor and thinking you were the owner, one of the owners, because there was like multiples involved. And then finding out was like, oh no, you're just like someone that hangs out that everybody's friends with.
I'm just a drunk. Yeah, I'm just one of the drunks.
But you rolled with the owners, so I just assumed.
I think that's what happened. Is I went in there when they first opened, like the first day, and I was out with Johnny and Jamie and Kevin, and I think that's how like I got, because there wasn't even everybody hired yet. It was like they just had a couple people from the old rock bar still there, and they were in the process of kind of cleaning that up a little bit, and then I just started meeting all the new people. Like I think maybe the first person I met there might have been Carly, Amanda, probably, and Carly first.
Yeah, they were the first ones. Then I got hired, and then you got hired. Did we get hired at the same time? You got hired after me?
I think, I don't know. I remember meeting Ingrid and Carly first, but I think it was roughly it might have been the same like hiring.
I think it was around the same time.
Yeah, like hiring bulk.
Yeah.
Because I know that girl Sarah.
Yeah, because I met them too. I met them and Jason. They were hiring. I went up there to have lunch just to check it out. And I was like, I like this place. I want to work here. I was like, are you guys hiring? And they were like, yeah. And then he gave me an interview right on the spot. And they were like, oh, I went back to the table and I'm like, I guess I work here. My girlfriends are like, oh, what? You just said you were going to the bathroom. Oh my God.
That place had such a great vibe.
Yeah, it did.
How did you meet the owners of Second Floor?
Through Johnny.
Through Johnny. And did you know Johnny from Johnny's, or do you know Johnny from Johnny's?
So the first time I went into Johnny's was, well, I'd gone into it when it was called the 10 count a couple of times, but I really started, my office for my ambulance company was right around the corner. So when it changed to Johnny's, I used to go in there during the day and like drink with Amanda during the day sometimes.
So for everybody who's not familiar what we're talking about, we're talking about Second Floor in Huntington Beach. It's off of Main Street and Huntington Beach. And then we're also talking about Johnny's Saloon, which is in Huntington Beach, and it's off of Slater and Beach, right? So those are the two spots that we're talking about. Just for the people that don't know.
Yeah.
And they're tuning in because you're listening to us on Spotify, Apple, and YouTube.
Yeah, I think I went to Johnny's when they had 2-for-1 Jack and Cokes after 10 p.m. and like ruined myself too many times. I lived on Slater, and if you go, like, it was like the first right was like a house full of dudes. It was like during that time, and
not Slater Slums, right?
No, Slater Slums is the other side of Beach.
On the other side. Okay.
Yeah, like where all the houses are.
Those were really, I had a good time at those places, both of those bars.
Yeah, it was a good time.
I made lifelong friends at those places.
Definitely. So we all met and just all hit it off right away. We had like a crew that we formed, and we caused a lot of trouble and had so much fun. Some of my best memories are like those times, and like it was like that perfect young drinking, like what are you doing? I'm getting off of work at this time. Like, let's just like see where things go. And it was like some of my favorite memories. Those like 4 years, was it?
So you said it was what before Johnny Saloon?
There's a bar called the 10 Count.
Oh, okay. And then it was Johnny Saloon, and then that's when you started your ambulance company.
No, I had started my ambulance company before that,
Oh, okay.
2005, and it was right around the corner from there. It was on like later in Gothard, basically, where the main operations was. So it was like way too close to Johnny's. It was like too easy to go there.
And that's why we had so many drunken fun nights at Johnny's.
So Gio, like, take us back. How did you start your ambulance company? And I know a little bit about you being an EMT before, but like, take us through that, because I don't think I know the whole story.
So I became an EMT when I was 18. I worked in Newport Beach and Costa Mesa. And then I became a paramedic when I was 19, almost 20, 19. And then I went to work out in Fontana, and I was out in Fontana for like 11 years in the field in Fontana. And then I got promoted at the company I was at. It was a really big national ambulance company. And then somewhere around 2004, I started plotting to start my own ambulance company because I saw that the place I was working at was starting to have troubles, and things were starting to get smaller there. So I kind of decided to go out on my own, and I pretty much just took everything I had, 401k and savings and everything, and just kind of, I don't know how you put it, but bootstrapped myself into an ambulance company, and then kind of went from there. I had a lot of contacts in the area, and I started up with a couple of really good contracts. I had a 911 contract in Westminster that I got like 7 months after we opened, and just kind of got the ambulance company got going. I just got really lucky. I really did get lucky. Things all
Okay, so when did I really meet you? Because I met you when I was younger, like around 16.
Yep.
My mom is a nurse, so obviously ambulance, hospital, nurse, So
That's
I met
funny.
you a long time ago, and then I met you again when I was working at second floor. So when was that?
God, that was probably like 2001. You were young. You were like 15 or 16 years old.
Yeah, I was young, little.
It's like this blonde 15-year-old in this hoochie dress, and she came. We were celebrating the birthday for one of my employees, and your mom showed up with a bunch of her friends from work and brought you along. And that was actually the first time, and that blew my mind when you came up to me one day at second floor, and you're like, "Hey, my mom says she knows you," and I'm like, "Who's your mom?" And you're like, "Oh, her name is June." I'm like, "Holy shit!" Because I knew your mom pretty well, actually. We worked with her quite a bit. She gave quite a bit of business over to my company, and that's kind of how I met her and met you sort of inadvertently before you were of legal age, I should say. So I remember that night, and I was blown away when I realized that was you at that party that night.
Yeah, I think it was at the melting pot. We were at the melting pot. All these,
In Irvine.
Yep. All the nurses, they love that melting pot. Give it to, like the fondue. Fondue. Have you ever gone fondue? Have you ever fondued? Because you've never fondued? Never? Blue, come on now. Never? No cheese, no meat in the dip, no nothing. That's just bomb.
I heard that place is really good, but I've never been to it. I mean, like, don't they have it at weddings and stuff, and you like dip stuff in it?
I've never had it at a wedding, but this fondue place, melting pot, is pretty bomb. I feel like, our guys love to eat, and Gio likes to eat too. So if that place can feed this guy, he can feed our guy. Like this, it's good because it's like small bits, but like it's so rich in flavor, and there's a lot of stuff, and yeah, it's really good.
It was kind of like shabu before shabu. before shop.
Yes. There
Oh,
you go.
so they give you like little pieces of things and you add it.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Or whatever.
Yes. But that's cool. Okay. So
I'm
that
glad
was
you
yeah, I remember that because duh, it's you, Gio. Come on. But that was what year? And that was how long into your career?
So I became an EMT in '87. So 12 years, 13 years into my career.
Well, that was into your own company though, right?
Oh no, that wasn't my company. That was when I was still working for AMI.
Okay. And then after that, so during Johnny time, you had your own business?
Yeah.
There you go.
Called Shoreline Ambulance at the time.
And then everybody also knows it as Red Line.
Oh, Red Car was the car company.
Red Car. That was like the first Uber before Uber was Uber. Guys, this one had a thought and ran with it, and then
it was Uber without the app.
No, I had
100%.
No, I had an app.
Oh yeah, you did have an app.
I had an app.
You did have an app.
Yep.
Yeah, you were.
And then Uber came in and just like wiped us out overnight. It was wild. We lost when Uber started up in Orange County that first month. We lost like half our business overnight.
Because you guys were in OC Weekly, like everybody knew you. Everybody was using you guys. I mean, you guys were the Uber of Uber. You guys were the Uber of Uber. How did they even take that away from you? I don't even understand.
They're just so much bigger. They were so much bigger, and we had like a core business of people. We had a lot of regulars, and it was good. The bars were calling us and everything. And then when Uber came along, a lot of our business came from bartenders and stuff that were using us. So when Uber came along, it left it up to the users to call. So it was really convenient. The users would call, and it just slowly just took away our business, like little by little, and it was gone. It became, it would, between me and Marlena, my wife, it became like having a second minimum wage job is what it turned out to be. We were up all night on the weekends and stuff. Just got to the point where I was like, you know what, enough's enough. We just stopped.
It's just too much. Like, that's too much. Like, drunk people that need rides all the time. It's just too much. I mean, hello, COVID. Do you understand how many people wanted to go out and drink at bars and they couldn't?
I think too, like even in New York, there was all the taxis were like such a big business, right? They had medallions that they'd have to purchase, and these medallions were going for like hundreds of thousands of dollars for these medallions, and you couldn't be a taxi cab unless you had it. So it was like this. I mean, it was like exploited to the point where like people were you couldn't get it, you couldn't get one, and to buy one, you mortgage your house basically to get it. And then the same thing happened. Uber came in and just like wiped
everything out.
And it went from like, these hundreds of thousands of dollars for medallions, and the medallions like instantly turned to nothing.
Yeah, it was a really disruptive business for a lot of people. And, I could see the taxi guys being upset, but honestly, the taxi guys were doing a pretty terrible job also, and especially in places like New York where, there were some neighborhoods you can't get a taxi, and there were lots of ethnic groups that taxi cabs wouldn't pick up either. And, like it was pretty notorious for them not to pick up in black neighborhoods. And all of a sudden Uber comes along and they're like, hey, we'll come get you wherever you're at. And overnight, those guys all died. Literally their businesses died.
I think too, though, it was a cash only business. And
with taxis
were cash only. Yeah, there was no way to, it was before they put those little things in, and they also, people knew they were a cash business, so they get robbed all the time. So they had like little, I don't know if you know now, but like they'll have little blinkers on the back where they can just like push a button under their thing and it blinks on the outside so that cops know like they're getting robbed, but they get robbed all the time. And guns
Wow.
like that. It was a really like scary place, but they also kind of like everything, right? Like they also would come up to you and be like, "Where are you going?" And you'd be like, "Oh, I'm just going right over the bridge." And they'd be like, "Nah, like,
Yeah. Can't go, can't take you."
They were really picky and they were like fucked up anyway, and they were like selective.
Well, that's how the Uber drivers are right now. They're like, I get bounced around so many times to different Uber drivers because they don't want to go your direction, you know? So it's kind of becoming the same way as taxis, but yet they got prop whatever that's like making them, you know.
99, right?
Yeah. So they're like, no, we're getting paid. This is what's up. We're not going that way. We're not, because I remember at the beginning, everybody was going everywhere and they end up 2 hours away from their house or like hours away, like in Palm Springs, and they're from Orange County or LA, you know? So I think they're getting smart too. And they're like, no, like this is what we want. These are the hours that we want. It's a set pay and we're going to take you from point A to point B. And I don't want to end up in BFE.
You know what happened to me in Huntington? We were at the Harbor House like 3 a.m.
Oh, wait, question. So when you got red car, is it because of all the other extracurricular activities that we were doing all the other nights that made you spark an idea and just be like, oh, I should do this, you know?
Actually, you know what gave me the idea was what was the name of that bar that was over Shooters? Okay, Shooters had a van that was taking people home from the bar, and if you were too drunk, they would drive you home in their van, so to make sure you got home safely, and they let you leave their car in your parking.
Because that's what you were doing with us. Like anytime we were like rows of us chicks were like out of the door, like just okay, here we are. We were like dropped off, we're safe, we're getting food at Harper House. Next thing you know, like everybody's getting dropped off at their place, you know. So like it was like I loved it. And that is why I'm like, is that what sparked your interest in doing it? So
the original idea was that we were going to have a service that would drive you home in your car. And
oh yes.
So because a lot of people would park downtown and they'd leave their car in a metered spot. So then in the morning, those meters come on at like 6 or 7 or something like that, and they were getting tickets. So we would take people home in their cars as well. And then we also bought a couple of town cars, and we were using the town cars to go pick people up also. So it was kind of like a
sorry, I remember that because right after that, then people were using the scooters.
Yeah.
And they would scoot to you. Yeah. And then drive you or scoot you to or like drive you to or like end up in your car where they scooted to you to your car. So you had your car in the morning when you woke up. You were way before like that's the thing about you. Your mind was way before the time, and that's what I appreciate about you because you're such a thinker.
And there was other places doing the scooter thing, but nothing like that was happening in Orange County at all.
Nothing was like nothing you were doing was like that anywhere.
What also gave me the idea too was remember sometimes like on prom nights and stuff, the tow companies would tow people's cars home and give the kids rides home. So I was thinking, you know, like there's all kinds of people who would need that. They called it like Teen Safe Ride or whatever.
Yes.
We called it Safe Ride. So you could just show up or tell us where you're at, call us, tell us where you're at. We would come to you, drive you home in your own car. And we had a was working for us too. And it was pretty wild. It was cool. But
for some odd reason, I feel like you need to get some type of royalties from like all of this shit that's been going on. Because you were the original, you were the OG of everything that's been going on now. Like,
and you know, Johnny really helped me get it started too. Johnny was like probably our first bar customer. And he was also a partner in the business too. So he was sending people home from his bar.
Yep, I
Sometimes,
remember everybody had to call a number, and we had who was his name? Ace? Was it Ace?
yeah, Ace too. Yeah,
Yep.
Ace worked with Ace, you know, and Johnny would pay for it a lot.
Yep, pay for everybody. If you were fucked up and you wanted to go home, guess what? You got a ride home.
Yeah, yeah, one way or another. If there wasn't one of my cars available, Johnny would pay for a cab or pay for Ace or somebody to get home, you know.
Well, because
And
at that
that
point
was
you
kind
got
of
so
really,
busy. You got so busy he had to do that.
we were really busy. We would run from like about 10 o'clock at night to like 3 in the morning, pretty straight all through that time. And then, you know, things change. That's how business is sometimes, you know, you end up, something new comes along and, you know, that's the end of that.
Did you
Good
have
luck.
did you have your ambulance company and that at the same time?
Yeah. I started it right before I sold my ambulance company. So I started it in like the fall of 2012. I sold my ambulance company in 2013. Shot time?
Yep.
That time. Let's do another shot, guys.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Don't mind me. I just have some nuts in my mouth. Cheers.
Brothel nut.
Oh, you mean TJ Whorehouse nuts?
Yeah, one whorehouse. Apparently, you're not supposed to eat those.
Gio,
You live-
have you ever had TJ Whorehouse nuts in your mouth?
Have you ever? Do you guys go to Tijuana?
I used to go all the time. I love Tijuana.
I'm scared of that place.
She's like, I thought I was gonna get stolen.
I used to go get
Snatch
well.
my ass up and be like, you know, try to talk to me. I'm gonna be like, I don't speak Spanish, and then I'll just chop my head off.
No habla en español.
Espanol. They're like,
She looks like an abuelita.
The last time I was there, I saw No Effects in the Mad Caddies.
In TJ?
Tijuana Tilly's. I used to go down there all the time to see shows. It was great.
Yes, that sounds sick. I went. Hey, okay, question. Is TJ doing the same thing? Like, are they all closed down too? Like, what's going on over there?
No idea.
I don't know. We should go.
Like,
Probably.
why is America, why are we not informed about everywhere? Like, when I went to Korea, I saw news about everything, about all the places of everywhere, you know? But I come here and it's like, you only focus on like the shit that they want you to focus on. So,
Those
like, what are
places,
they doing at TJ? Are they still having shows? Like, are they closed down? Did they close us away? Like, did they say, fuck you, Americas? You want to build a wall? Like, we are shutting you down? Like, what are they doing over there?
I think they did stop us from coming over.
Do you think they have shows? Do you think that they're closed down too?
I think they stopped letting Americans go.
Yeah, we're like the fucking craziest numbers in the world.
They were like, no, don't come over here.
Building a wall.
Because we don't know. I don't see that on the news. I don't see anything about Mexico. What are they doing over there? I know we can't go to Europe and all, like no flights can come in or out, right?
They could come in, right? I just
Yeah, there's flights. There's still flights coming into the U.S.
So like, okay, so like Europe can come over here. We can go to Europe.
We can't go to Europe.
We cannot. But we can fly from state to state.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Are like COVID bedbug ass coming into their country. They're like,
wait, so like you go to New Orleans all the time, every year, right? So are you gonna go this year?
Yeah, I am. I'm gonna go in April.
April.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, that's coming up.
I talked to my friend there who manages a bar there in French Quarter, and she was saying they're going to be they're opening up around St. Patrick's Day. So,
Okay, wait. So you're going when? In April?
Yep.
But you're going to your birthday.
No.
Not his birthday's in November.
Me and Dee want to go with you on your birthday.
Are you gonna go in November?
We talked about it last podcast, didn't we?
Yes, we did. We said we wanted to go, but we didn't know you were gonna go in April because like April's like right around.
I'll go in April. I like New Orleans. I'll make 2
Is it
trips.
hot over there during April?
No, it's just about to start getting hot. You don't want to go June, July, and August.
So
Brutal.
that's why you go in November, right?
October.
So why are you
November.
going in April?
I've gone in the spring too. Like I've been there in January before. It'll be nice in April.
So we want to go in November. So remember, we're going in November.
I feel like I need like
We need to go out. We need to get the fuck out. We need to get the fuck out of Dodge.
Do you know how people like train for marathons and they start running like 2.5 years in advance and then they
nobody starts 2.5 years in advance when they're running marathons.
Have you heard about Geo in New Orleans? Because bitch, you better start now to get ready for Geo in New Orleans.
Well, I know they party like a fucking crazy fucks. Oh, by the way, I have the candles right here on the windowsill, by the way, but it's just like, you know, COVID and all that stuff. So now, yeah. Anyways, yeah, I heard. And guess what? I know they party over there. And guess what? COVID, road trip, you said it. We're going. Done.
How many hours of sleep do you get a night, Geo?
Not
None.
really. Can't really count it a night because I usually go home at like 10 in the morning and then I sleep till like noon and then I'm up doing stuff.
100%. That's what I want. I want all of that. 100%. You better leave your kids with a fucking babysitter. We're going out. We're gonna party. We are the fucking weirdos, mister. Like,
so you know,
yes.
Lynn's boyfriend, Lindley's boyfriend.
Bert.
So when he was there for my birthday, he was talking shit. He was like, I can hang, it's no problem. I could do this too. So one night I said, all right, let's go, and we started drinking at like 2 p.m. and at like 5:30 in the morning, he's like, Gio, can we please go back to the bar now? I'm like, no.
No.
Can we please go back?
No, stop being a pussy.
Yeah.
Stop being a pussy. Take another shot.
That's exactly what I said. He was destroyed. Okay.
Guess what, Gio? I'm sorry to tell you, but
that's gonna be you, D. That's gonna be you.
That is gonna be D. D's talking some game right now, but D, there's no way you're gonna hang.
Gio, I'm sorry, but you're too much, man. Sometimes
you're gonna give me
hang. I can't hang. I don't know how you hang. I don't even know how you hang with yourself. Like, how do you hang with yourself? Because I have to be like, peace out, and not say a word, which to nobody means Irish exit the fuck out of there.
I know.
Yeah. I'm gonna do that. Like, I will do that.
You are queen of that.
100%. I know what's up. I know when it's time to go. You want me to throw up everywhere, or do you want me to go home and go to sleep and have a great day the next day with you guys?
I want you to.
What do you want? What do you want?
I want you to throw up.
Yeah, we want.
No.
And then I'll maybe let you go home.
This is why I say, like, start prepping now. If you're gonna commit to New Orleans, last time that's why I didn't go, because I knew it was like, if I'm gonna do New Orleans, I'm gonna do it right. And being pregnant was not gonna be doing it right. But if you're gonna go deep,
oh yeah, you were pregnant.
If you know what you're getting into, we gotta like go hard. And my thing is, I can do it, but it's gonna be like one and done. Like, it's gonna be like one day and then I'll just die for like the additional 3 days. One time I went to Jamaica and I was like, it's like a like all inclusive, so you can drink until God knows whatever. And so I would,
oh yes,
we went with like 14 people, and every single night I'm like I'd go to the bartender, I'm like, me and you, like Andrew or whatever his name was, like, we're gonna stay up. Like, what time do you get off? Oh, 7 a.m. Like, okay, like, we're gonna do this. Like, and every night I get wasted and my boyfriend would throw me over his shoulder and be like, you need to get your ass in fucking bed. And I never made it to the 7 a.m. So,
I would never make, I mean, unless I'm on like some fucking stuff.
The poop, the poop.
Yeah,
People
I'm
people are like, what have you been doing? And I'm like, I don't do that stuff. I never do that stuff. I'm just like, I get into a different mode when I go.
yeah, when I drink, no. If I'm staying up until 7 a.m., I'm looking like a marsupial. Like I'm on one.
D, we gotta
I'm
make
on
it
one.
back that if we go, right, like our either like we pick it, but like our first day in or like whatever day we go.
You're gonna do either Molly or I'm doing Coke. What's our pact?
No, we're not gonna do drugs. We're just gonna like
Oh wait, we're not?
no. We're gonna commit. We're gonna like it's a commit. It's a like a nobody go home until 10 a.m. Like
Oh shit, she wants to see the sunrise and like stay up for brunch.
No, so here's the thing. So like all the tourists go home at like 3 or 4 a.m. And then the only people left in the bars are like bar people, right? So
Yeah, it's like after hours drays in Vegas where like all the dancers and all the strippers come out at like 7 o'clock in the morning and all the street musicians come out and they want to fuck with your mind until you have a dollar bill with a fucking weird slogan on it 70 years later and it still hasn't moved. Yeah, that's the type of stuff that you guys are talking about. And then that stuff is, yeah, don't look at me like that.
I don't get it.
You're talking about
yeah,
me.
because that place is weird and spiritual too. And it's like there's some fucked up people there and they will want to fuck with your mind at 7 or 10 o'clock a.m. in the morning. And voodoo dolls. I really want a voodoo doll though. That's why I really want to go. So yeah, we're going. I'm down. We're gonna make a pact.
We need to.
I'm not saying I'm not doing any extracurricular activities, but I will drink and I will be there.
Dee just told me that if you do a lot of cocaine, then you poop your pants, and I did not know that.
I didn't. Well, that's some people. I don't poo my pants. Like,
all the baby laxatives they put in blow.
Yeah, that's what makes it. So if we're gonna do this, we have to make a pact right here, right now. If we go for Gio's birthday, that we go until we like pick a day because I only got one in me, and we have to go. We need to do New Orleans like Gio does New Orleans.
But see,
I want to end up in the parade somehow.
Part of what I do is not just drinking. It's like I have like all the restaurants all planned out and stuff.
I know you have all the, oh man, when you went, that's the only reason why I had a beignet craving. And my customer brought it to me at work, a beignet, and it was amazing. But I would like to get a beignet in the original spot. So that would be really cool. And they have the parades, they have all the cemeteries, they have food. The food's amazing. The seafood's amazing. Like you have a lot of friends there now. So like you got it hooked up when you go there.
Yeah, you can't get a bad meal in that town. And I would rather than Vegas. Like I won't even waste my time with Vegas anymore. It's like,
wait, what did you say? Something bakes?
I said I won't. It's way better than Vegas. I would rather go there than Vegas because I spend less money in New Orleans than I do in Vegas.
Yeah.
No, it's halfway across the country.
Yeah, and that's true too, because Vegas is so like it's Vegas. It's glamour, it's like clubs, it's whatever. But New Orleans is like it's like old school. There's still history there. Have you like gone like on hikes or done any type of like weird shit there?
I've done like ghost tours there.
Okay. That's what I'm all about.
Yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff to do there. You would probably like it.
I'm down. I can't wait. I know you're going in April, but let's go in November.
Okay.
Yeah, that'd be really fun, and that gives more time for like normalcy to come back. And they have a mural for Izzy there.
In New Orleans?
Is that the one? Is that the one that? Oh, I thought that was in New York.
They have one in Brooklyn and one in New Orleans.
Wow.
Oh shit. Where's it at in New Orleans?
I don't know. I'd have to ask.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's really great. Yeah, New Orleans would be super fun. I'd love to go.
I almost had you guys there at that punk show we went to in Ohio.
Izzy was like this close. And I was like, Nick will literally lose his mind.
I should have just fucking bought you guys tickets and like guilted you into going.
Should have. If you would have bought tickets, it was already done. It was already thought of, done. So therefore, you're already there. Like,
or made up some lie that I was going to drive you guys back to New York, and then when you woke up, you would have been in New Orleans.
Yeah, that would have been. I don't know if I could have done it because like Camp Anarchy was so much fun, but I don't know if I could have done that. And that's like my big thing is like if I'm going to do New Orleans, I want to do it right. I don't think I could have done it right after Camp Anarchy, even though it was like such a blast to go camp.
Jen, there's no wrong. There's no wrong. The only wrong in New Orleans is to like sleep through it all or something, you know? Like it's
exactly.
Did you go on like alligator, like the alligator thing, like swamp thing, the tours or whatever?
Yeah, they have.
You know when you go on like one of those big old like fucking water propeller thing that you. Sorry.
He does the tourist to the 10th times 10.
Yeah.
I want to go fucking touch a fucking alligator and yeah, I want to do all of that. Give it to me.
You can do it all there. I felt bad because Lola, on my birthday, Lola wanted to go do a swamp tour. And,
yes, I want to do a swamp tour. I want to go touch alligators. I want to like crawdaddy bakes. I want like all of that. I want all of it. Yeah. I want the parade. I want a voodoo doll. Like I want all of it. Give it all to me.
The problem was that the tour started at like 9 a.m. and I pretty much was still at the bar.
That's fine. I'll roll out of the bar to one of those swamp things, the swamp tour. I'm fine. Let's do it. You can go drunk, can't you? I mean, the worst you're going to do is fall into the lake and get wrestled by a crocodile or an alligator, whatever the fuck it is.
Did she do a tour at the whole time?
Did she what?
Did she get to do it at any point?
No, man. I felt
no, because he sucks. He's sleeping in because he's hungover. But if I go, we're gonna do this. So Lola, I guarantee you, in November we're doing a freaking swamp tour. Okay.
See, I didn't sleep in. I didn't sleep. Because everybody had shit they wanted to do during the day. So I would just crash I would shower and sleep for like an hour and a half, and then be up and going again.
So why did you not go to the swamp tour?
Because they started at 9 and I was still in the bar till like 10:30 in the morning.
Damn, they what? Okay, so New York, it's 4:00. In New Orleans, it's what?
They don't
even close?
No close. So they close for like an hour. They have to close for like an hour. So what happens is your bar will close at like 5. Then you go next door to the other bar that reopens at 5. They have them all like staggered so that we'll just go from one bar. So it's pretty funny. Fun.
For when does their shift start? If they work until that time, like do they start like does your shift start like at 10 p.m. or 11 p.m.?
They do like 6 to 2, 2 to 10, and then 10 to 6. Yeah.
That's another level.
So you meet like shifts of the bar, you know, and it's like, so then because my friend Keisha manages like 2 or 3 bars there. So she would just say, hey, these people are coming in at this time, you know, and they'd be ready for us. And so we just made friends with everybody. You know?
Yes, I like it. We're going. That's it. Done. We're done. That's first trip. Done.
And you know, it's different when you go and like hang out at a bar with other bartenders from other bars. You just get treated better, and it's so much more fun. And the drinks.
To be with the locals, like that is like my favorite key is if you make good and do what the locals do, you're gonna have a way better time than doing the tourist stuff.
So for all you people that don't work in the service industry that are tuning in, guess what? The best way you're ever going to get service and the best way that you're ever going to make any friends. So whenever you go back to your spot, let's say you're in Hawaii or you're in Mexico or you're in New Orleans or you're in New York, guess what? You go there and you sit at the fucking bar. You make friends with your fucking bartender and you fucking tip. Guess what? You're going to get the best treatment. You're going to know people. And you know what? All those extracurricular activities that you really want and all the information and the news that you really want, they always tell you it's the bartender, the barber, and the taxi guy that you always want to know. So,
you know what's funny is if you look at all my friends, all my like party friends, they're all service people. Everybody, you know, with the exception of a few. Like, and I've never worked in the service industry, so like all of my buddies are like bartenders, servers, cocktail waitresses, whatever.
yeah, anywhere you want to go, any cool place, any spot that's hip, whatever, like those people are going to know the ins and outs of the city that you're going to. Like, why would you not go and make friends with these people? But make sure you fucking tip, motherfuckers.
But they're also the funnest. I think like just the nature of the industry is like very outgoing, very fun, very open, very accepting. Like it's a very good like type.
Well, I mean, first, that's our job as a bartender or a server. Like, we gotta like entertain your motherfucking ass anyway. But then I've had like Uber drivers or taxi drivers that are so fucking fun. And I'm like, give me your card because I'm asking for you next. Like, whenever I'm fucked up, I'm going to ask for you. So, yeah.
Is that what you call it when you're at work? Entertainment?
Yeah, I'm entertainment. It's a stage. Our whole life is a stage. Hello. Hello. Dress accordingly.
Yeah.
Bring it.
If I didn't, I'd be a little scared of you sometimes. I'm just
yeah,
saying.
no, that's funny because if you met me outside of work and I was on the street and you didn't know me, I'd be scary. At work, it's better to know me at work because it's kind of like a little glimpse into me and you kind of have to like, I have to be soft, you know, at work. So it's different. But fuck you, Gio, okay?
Soft?
You really want to start this like 3 shots in? Really?
Somebody look up the definition of soft. First of all.
Yeah, it's not you. That's for damn sure. Oh, wait, it might be. It might be.
So, like, Jen, this one time I was at Dee's bar in Costa Mesa, and I was like, she was talking to this girl that worked there. She was like, I swear they were going to throw blows. So I asked her, I'm like, hey, what's going on? You having beef with that girl? She goes, no, man, my homie. I'm like, what? It looked like they were about to have a fucking fist fight in the middle of the bar. She's like, no,
okay,
like,
paparazzi. That's what you see.
Dee's fucking scary. Like, I remember when we worked at second floor, like everybody would like joke around, right, and like whip each other with the towels. And Cam fucking whipped Dee once. Oh yes. My god.
Yes. No, fuck that shit. Fuck you. You wanna swap? I'm gonna swap you in your fucking nutsack. You little fucking kitten, you.
Literally, like Incredible Hulk. Like her body got bigger, and then her
get it right. It's Mrs. Hulk, okay?
Her seams ripped open, and she was like, ah! Fucking ran.
My sleeves ripped open.
Back to work. He was like, nope. He was so fucking scared to walk in that door because she was like, I'm gonna fucking whip you so fucking hard.
Yeah, 100%.
Absolutely terrified.
Hey, if you want to play with big dogs, fucking play with the big dogs. You can't whip somebody and not expect to get whipped back.
Yeah, it was like the funniest thing ever. Jeez.
100%. That's like Matt.
And I thought somebody was gonna call the cops on them. They were like, and I had
but
no idea.
Too, you gotta understand, the chick that I was talking to, she's like Russian. So she has the same like mannerisms. If you don't hear us, we still have the same like, you know. So it looks like we're fighting. But if you heard us, we're just fucking talking. We're just Italians. You know how Italians are, if you muted them, they look like they were having a war with themselves. But
One time Nick was outside talking to an Italian landlord, and I literally thought they were fighting. And
Exactly.
yeah, they were just having a conversation.
Because I'm pretty sure if we're drunk and like somebody doesn't hear us and they just see us outside a window, they probably would think that we're angry at each other. I'm very emotional, and I'm very passionate, and I'm very I talk with my hands too.
Okay.
But I gotta say this. We're gonna have to move you inside, buddy.
Yeah, I know it's getting dark.
It happened so quick. It happened like within 3 minutes.
It was 3 minutes, right?
Almost. So I can move inside. No big deal.
Yeah, get your ass inside.
He's smoking a cigar. He's puffing.
Done. It's done.
No, I'm playing. It's okay.
You want me to move in now?
Is Guy around? Does he want to join our podcast?
Ooh.
I had a feeling he was gonna do it anyway. I saw him walking.
I can't wait.
He was walking over there in the other part of the yard. And I'm like, I know he can't hear me. He sees he's coming over. So Guy's my uncle, by the way. He's like,
oh, Blue already had hers ready.
Guy's uncle, and I like him a lot.
All right, I'm gonna go outside.
Okay.
Cheers.
Bring your tequila, or do you want first? That's our snapshot.
That was a good one. But he's not in there.
I know. I was like cracking up at our singing outro that we did last week.
Oh, so I love when we get drunk and we have our singing outros or intros or like mid episode dance routines. I love them. Are we ever going to get in trouble for those?
Well, we should have Nick put music. Well, no, I think he can't copyright.
So what do we do? Do we just like make our own music up and like dance to it?
Yeah, we'd have to.
Is that better? Do I do it that way?
That was us entertaining the crowd because we're entertainers, while Gio reassesses.
Yeah, so if you're not watching us on Apple, actually, if you're not watching us on YouTube, you should, because you're missing out. Sorry, that's a couple of shots in. I'm really sorry. But you're missing out on my fabulous green hair and this abuelita over here. Did that rhyme? She's my best friend. Yeah.
I'm just gonna make up like really good dance moves. It's gonna be
you could do that because I'm just gonna start singing and that's it. But yeah, if you're not watching us on YouTube, make sure you subscribe to that. Like hit that button wherever the hell it is.
Button so that you know when we get a new video. Gio, do you have the notification bell on us?
Do I have the what?
The notification bell on our YouTube.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't listen to you guys. I'm just here for this episode and that's it. It's okay. Because if you're just here for this episode, it's fine. Just like hit the subscribe button now. Well, yeah. And then you can follow us on YouTube. You can follow us on Spotify. You can get us on Apple. And then afterwards, we end up going live on Instagram. So
yeah, support our dance moves.
Yeah, 100% support our fucking dance moves.
Yeah, and
what do you think?
Write less, because like we can't get in trouble when we sing songs.
If I'm like humming it or doing my own version, you can't copyright that, right?
Yeah, we can't get in trouble.
Okay, Gio, you are like a saint with that halo above your head.
Yeah, right. I know. I'm trying to fix it.
Yeah, you can't get in trouble for copyright. So if we sing it, and then I practice my sweet, sweet dance moves.
Oh, I like that dolphin move.
Yeah, it's like a dolphin.
Oh, if you're not even watching this, you don't even know what you're missing. Just
I am the most embarrassing mom ever.
So Matt and his COD fam bam, they're always watching and listening when we're here on Tuesday, and they think we're fucking hilarious. So just FYI,
we're pretty funny.
I think we're pretty funny. And what were we talking about? Okay, I'm gonna bring this up because
we need a filler while Gio gets his shit together.
Yeah. So we were talking about
butt sex.
Well, we were talking about how was I feeling earlier today, and how were you feeling earlier today? And I said, honestly, I don't know if you can see this, but do you see that?
You still have the sticker on? I didn't see it all day today. I mean, I saw it earlier, but not.
I mean, the sticker's here. It's been here this whole time. But
no.
Okay, for everybody who doesn't know, I woke up this morning and I have the biggest pimple, whitehead on my chin. Okay, not only we're probably gonna lose a couple of viewers or listeners right now because I'm gonna start talking about some shit. I woke up fucking bloated as fuck. I had a big ass white head on my fucking chin. I had one right here in the curvature of my nose. That's the worst kind you could ever possibly have, is a pimple right there.
Why did
and
you stop it?
My neck was fucked up. I had a fucked up neck. I don't know how I woke up and my neck was fucked up. I don't know if I'm old or I'm a fucking turning 11 years old. I don't know. Like swollen, pimples, neck fucked up.
Why didn't you just pop the whitehead? You did.
I mean, I did, but like it's still a fucking rock underneath it. So I put this little, it's called like Starface. That's what it's called. Starface. It's called Starface. So I put it on. And you're supposed to put it on at night when you go to sleep. And it has like this acne like medication on it. I don't know. Does it have it on there, or is it just cute? I don't know. I don't know.
I love that when you go to sleep, you have a little star on your face.
Yeah. So I'm like, okay, well, I woke up this morning and I had it on my face. So I'm like, obviously, I'm not going to wait until tonight to put it on. So like, I woke up in the morning, I took a shower, I did my shit, I stuck it on my face. So it's on my face now. It's been on my face for a second now.
Is this better, guys?
Yeah.
That is 100% better.
Yeah.
I'm so happy you know what's up. Aim it down a little bit. Aim it down. Ooh, look at that haircut right there.
Okay, so you had a pimple this morning.
There you go. Oh, wait. Now, I see titties now. There we go. Oh, wait. Up a little bit more. Up. Oh, up a little. There you go. There you go. Okay. There we go. There we go. I got you. We see you now. So yeah. Yeah, I was having a hard time this morning. Yeah, I think I'm going through menopause. I'm not sure. Not sure.
You're not going through menopause because you're bloated and had a deep.
Not sure.
Yeah, we're old fucking ladies. Definitely.
How you doing, Joe? You doing okay with that lighting over there? Because I know my lighting's good. Oh, let's get. Oh, where's my light?
Playing this out. Sorry. So, anyways, what were we talking about?
We were talking about being in New Orleans and having a road trip there, and you're gonna go in April. What are you gonna do in April?
Probably a lot more of the same. You know, I'm gonna take the fam, so Lola might bring a friend with her.
Then you guys can go do the tour then.
Yeah.
Or is it gonna be too cold?
No, it'll be fine. April will be nice. You know, the weather's usually pretty warm there, but I've been there a couple of times and they've had like super cold weather.
Yeah, well, I mean, look at Texas. Like, did you see all those fucking turtles that they pulled out of the sea too? Because it was fucking cold.
Yeah.
So
Crazy.
just saying.
But I really want to see some live music. So it's like it's the best place to go to catch live bands and the whole bit, you know.
Gio, how have you been doing with COVID? Catch us up on that sort of thing. So just you're not doing an ambulance company, you're just being a what?
I have a consulting business,
That's the word I was looking for.
and then I sell new custom built ambulances too. So I have an ambulance dealership that I'm just.
So you went from being the original Uber and having an ambulance company to just dealing them out.
Yeah, selling them, and then also I have a small consulting business, like a management firm, that I help companies with managing their ambulance companies or like hospitals with stuff. And but I'm tired of that, so I'm trying to focus just on selling ambulances, you know, and doing that. I think that's. But 2020 was terrible.
Wait, so I can buy my own ambulance? Like I can buy my own ambulance? Like I can just give you money and buy one ambulance and like I can have an ambulance?
Yes.
Okay.
No, so anybody can
Do I
buy
want?
an ambulance. Like, is this why we have a lot of Hasidic Jewish people in New York, and they have their own ambulance companies that only take care of them, and they kind of are a little more secluded. Is that because anybody can do it and create a company, or how does
Is that considered racism?
what?
Well, like if they're only taking care of their kind, is it like semi-racist? Like I'm just asking.
First of all, like
That's
their community has like a lot of really strict rules, like with women and stuff like that. So they really kind of stay to themselves. There's no other real way to say it. And they're out
Is there
here.
any like black Hasidic Jews? Have you ever seen like a black Hasidic Jew with a hat and like curls right here?
I can't say that I ever have.
Well, the Hasidic community in New York is really large, and they stick to themselves. And yes, I think I've heard that like specific doctors, like there's just a lot of like things that happen within their religion that it just makes it easier to stay within their own. But it's also I think they stick to themselves, and I could be totally butchering this, and people comment below that I'm an asshole if I'm wrong. But I feel like I saw somewhere that they when they came over to America, they were survivors of like the Holocaust, and they didn't want to blend into like society. They kind of really decided to kind of stick into their own group because of that. Is that right, Gio?
Well, they started, the Hasidic Jews specifically started in Brooklyn. Their like most holiest temple is there in Brooklyn.
Yeah,
And
I mean, when I was there was, I mean, fuck, they were all over the place. Yeah.
They don't even recognize the other Jewish sects. So like they are their own thing. They're their own part of Judaism themselves. I don't know if that's the right word or not, but they are for sure. They have much more strict rules than just even Orthodox Jews have. So
Yeah.
they kind of do their own thing.
And
They have their own courts. They have their own courts that enforce like laws and punishments to people. And like if you're in that community,
They're kind of like Mormons. Yeah.
Yeah, but I think Mormons are still more part of the real, like the regular community than Hasidic Jews
Because
are.
they'll tell you you're not a part of the church, you're not a part of Mormonism, like you're not, if there's certain laws and like rules that they do. So yeah, okay, I got you.
But
okay.
I think you're still governed by like the police and their like and medical. I think like the Hasidic Jews like have their own regulations for like policing, right? And and medical and schooling.
They
Even
just want-
in New York. So in New York, they have like different police, medical, and all that stuff.
well, it's not that they have their own police force. They just won't call like the
Oh.
NY. They won't
Yeah.
even call them. They
They're
handle
like,
it all.
oh, it's our community. We're gonna deal with it our own, like on our
Yeah.
own.
I
Oh,
think
okay.
so. You know, I'm not an expert, but I've
Yeah.
worked with that community quite a bit, and on the ambulance side, and they are kind of their own thing. You know,
They're very nice.
Yeah. Super nice. So nice. I'm like, can I have your bike?
you go up to that,
There's a lot of landlords too, and they're not supposed to like touch women. There's just a lot of like they're very
Well, you should
Like-
never touch women. Don't ever touch me. I'll fucking punch you in your throat.
like if
Yeah,
you didn't
yeah.
go shake their hand, you wouldn't. They'd be like, no.
yeah, you're not supposed like Hasidic women won't shake hands, and they wear wigs that cover up their hair, stuff like that.
Mm.
Now, in your years in California, is there anything that's like specifically like that kind of it leans into that thing that was hard for you to kind of understand coming into the paramedic world?
What do you mean, like specifically? What do you
Like how it, like I guess like paramedics in New York kind of have to like learn that niche or kind of cater to that niche. Is there anything in California that's kind of similar to that niche?
Not really. I mean, they're here in LA. If you go to like 3rd Street in like the Wilshire district or Fairfax district, it's all, you know, Hasidic Jewish people there. So it's I know that the guys that work for the LA Fire Department, they've had some struggles dealing with that community because that community won't call them. They'll call somebody that to take them to a Jewish clinic when they're having a heart attack or something. So the firemen just show up, they do their thing, they're like, okay, let's go to the hospital. And then these people are just kind of like, no, we don't want to go to the hospital. So they don't even call 911 sometimes. You know, they have a group called Hatzalah, which is also in New York City. And Hatzalah has ambulances and EMTs that respond after these calls. And they do their own thing. You know, they're apart from the regular EMS system. And I think they're trying to be more integrated, but it's hard for them. They don't trust outsiders very much. So it's hard for them to fully integrate that way, which is fine.
Yeah, we suck. Yeah, we suck. The outsiders suck. We suck. It's okay. Let's be real. We fucking suck. It's okay. Don't worry.
And I hate to like say, but is business booming? I mean, with the coronavirus, like how has things changed over the last year? Considering, I mean, for like for New York, we got hit so hard in the beginning, and then we really tapered off, and we're like in a small second wave. But California, for whatever reason, if it's because they shut down early or whatever, they didn't see the numbers that we saw. So has it been?
Oh yeah, all of a sudden we're good. We're good. We're good. We're opening up. We're fine.
I don't think we're good. I just think that I think everybody says, okay, we just can't wait anymore for it to be good.
Yeah, I mean it's gonna come up. It's a year anniversary. You know what I mean? It's coming up to the year anniversary. St. Patty's Day is when everybody got shut down. So it's like, what are they gonna do? They're gonna keep shutting us down after a year, or are you gonna let us open up? It's literally the first holiday season that bars really make money on, right? They closed us down last year.
It
They're
depends
gonna
on
do
what
it this year.
it depends on what county you're in, because like if you're in LA County is still really locked down. You know, like they're just now starting to let people sit outside again.
Yeah,
And,
outside right now.
And Orange County's had outside dining and stuff pretty much through the whole thing.
So my bar, we go off of LA. So we've been doing everything that LA has been doing. So we're outside, and then by Thursday we're supposed to be 25% inside. So we're allowed to have, but they are not allowed at the bar. So even though they're inside, they can't come to the bar and order at the bar. I'm still supposed to have like a server or whatever. But yeah, we're gonna open up Thursday through Sunday.
the medical field has been hit really hard in Orange County and in LA. And for example, for like ambulance companies, the ERs are so backed up that an ambulance shift is like 12-hour shift, right?
But
So they
what county are you talking about, and what city are you talking about? Because my mom is a nurse, obviously, she's in Anaheim, so they set up extra beds and stuff because they were like, oh, okay, Valentine's Day and Super Bowl Sunday. Sorry, like those are two holidays that we just opened up a little bit, and those people are going to be out. So we just set up extra beds and stuff. So
well, the problem is in the emergency rooms. So an ambulance shift is like 12 hours long, and there's some ambulance crews that pick up their first patient, they take them into an ER, and they sit there for 8 hours till that patient gets admitted. So it's hard for an ambulance company to stock or to staff. If you own an ambulance company and you can only run one call per shift, you won't be able to do that for very long until you're out of business. So it's been really hard for them. And
I didn't know that they couldn't leave. Like if their waiting room is full, then they just have to sit there and wait until they can take them in, like so there's enough space. I had no idea.
So even like the EMS agencies even relaxed some of the rules. So they said they could leave people in the waiting room, but if somebody's really sick, you can't leave them in the waiting room. Not if they're having a heart attack or something. And the hospitals try to get those people in, but sometimes, man, you're just sitting there with the patients. 2020 was a hard year for us, staffing wise, and for money wise. The insurance companies were like all understaffed. So, because those people were like non-essential workers for a good part of the year. So they just ended up, you send a bill to an insurance company, there's nobody there to process it. You just don't get paid. So,
yeah.
Some of those COVID loans were helpful, but it's been hard for people, to get through it. Just like everybody, just like the restaurant business, and everybody's lives were disrupted. Even though you did more calls and it was busier, it was a little bit busier. It ended up being kind of difficult for you to stay in business over the year. It was tough.
That's what I think is so interesting about this is it was like really wild how far that fire spread into how many different avenues and like the things that you don't even think of. It's like, okay, we all know service industry has been fucked, but like, how like that's a perfect example is the people who are picking up the people who are in need not getting paid for what they're doing and having to pick up one person per because there's nowhere to put them. If you're an ambulance company, can you try different hospitals, or is it like you're like commissioned into certain ones? You
could, but they're all the same. I mean, they're all full. When everybody's full, there's nothing you can do. And so here's something like a personal experience I had that's related to COVID that I never thought of at all. So my mom died on February 3rd. Okay. So I knew that I was going to bring her home on hospice a couple days before that. And I knew she wouldn't last. Excuse me. I knew she wasn't going to last long after we brought her home because she was pretty sick. So I started calling around to funeral homes to make arrangements to have her cremated. Okay. So I brought her home on a Wednesday. I started calling around on Saturday looking for places. And I'm not even exaggerating. I called like 30 places and they were all full. Like they weren't accepting any other people to be cremated. So I was like, how the hell am I going to do this? Like, what do we do? And I'm thinking, shit, I'm just going to I have to leave my mom in the hospital because we wouldn't have anywhere to take her if she passed away at home. So I started asking, well, what are you supposed to do? And they're like, you have to start making arrangements for cold storage for your mom. I'm thinking, what? What the fuck do you mean I got to make how do you even do that? And they're like, start with the coroner's office and they will give you some guidance, as to what you can do. And so like in Orange County, the coroner's office would come out for like $400, pick up my mom, and then they were charging like $40 a day for cold storage. That's if they had it at the time that my mom passed away. And if they didn't have it,
So you just like put your loved ones on the rocks and like you wait until like
the D was like, it wasn't like a couple days. It was like 3 weeks. They're like, we can't take new people. The shortest one was 2.5 weeks. The longest one was almost 5 weeks that they weren't going to accept anyway. So luckily for me, I had a friend who owned a hospice, and the hospice would refer a lot of business to these cremation companies, and they kind of twisted some arms for us and got them to come to agree that when we called, they would come pick up my mom. But I was freaking out. I didn't arrange that. I didn't get that arranged until Tuesday night, and we were going to bring her home on Wednesday. And so I got lucky, but what if you didn't have the resource? What if you didn't know who to call or what to do?
100%. What happens? What happens?
So what it did was it just made me so mad at some of these people that are out there talking like this was like a fake thing, it was a hoax, and all this fucking nonsense, right? And I just could not believe that people are still saying that. I heard people in the news today talking about, and I got a bunch of friends on Facebook that are like, "Oh, this is a hoax. Don't wear a mask. Don't do this." And I'm like, if it's a hoax,
yeah, because like I get it. Because some of the people, I get it. Because some people were already passing away from certain things like cancer, but when they have the death certificate or whatever, it was going as COVID. So it's like, okay, well, I get why they're asking questions, because it's like, what was your mom, what was her health issues before COVID,
Well, my mom had everything but COVID, okay? And there was nobody trying to push us into saying she died from COVID or not. I didn't experience any of that. But what I do know is when I tried to find a funeral home to take her, they were full of bodies. So where are all these bodies coming from?
I mean, we were watching the whole thing with like New York, and like the stories that were coming out from New York, and like the meat supply places that were carrying fucking dead bodies, and like the funeral homes and the crematoriums that were like full, and they couldn't even like that's some shit. That was a lot.
Here's the thing that I think is like for me the most alarming is as we're talking about like reopening, and New York is like we're at 35%, we're continuing to grow, and I get that it's like we need to open, and I'm all for
but
it.
Supposedly it's like so crazy that we need to take this this shot.
Most about it, I think, is that like give me the facts, and I think and then we can make some decisions, because like that is the thing is right now is we're continuing to open, we're growing, and if you look at the news, it's is all the vaccines and all this stuff, but underneath that is the fact that if your loved one were to die, whether it be COVID or whether it be a heart attack, they have no place to go. And I think that's really alarming to me that nobody's talking about that. We're more talking about all the other things, and we're ignoring those like underlining factors. Like New York.
So what are we supposed to do? We're supposed to get this vaccine and like hope for the best. Like I'm sorry. I'm sorry. We're opening up. It's still out there, So you're sitting there saying that people that are sitting there saying that it's fake, like that's fucked up because your mom, but it's like we're opening up right now.
There's a lot of new variants. Like, so New York is not talking about it being like we're going down in our second one, but it's really strange because all of a sudden I know more people catching it and more people hearing about people dying. Oh, my accountant died, my lawyer died,
than before when they were already saying that everything was closed down and nobody's dying from it.
Yeah. I feel like something's fucked up, and we're not getting what's really going on. We're just getting filtered like what's going on, because I'm hearing all this from actual people, but the news is like, oh, we're going on a downtick and there's new variants and there's all the stuff that they're talking about. But I'm hearing a lot of people getting sick right now.
Listen, wait until spring break happens, okay? When everybody goes.
Oh my God, spring break after St. Patty's and then spring break.
Yeah, wait till everybody goes to church for Easter Sunday. Wait till everybody has their Easter dinners. Wait till everybody does all that shit. Wait till like mid-April, May. It's gonna be just as bad again. The only thing that'll be more positive is that more people have gotten vaccines in that time, so that might help. But I'm telling you, this stuff's gonna be with us for a while, I think, and I don't know how. I think we're gonna be living with it, and I just like, I get that there's economic pressure on people. Like, I feel it. I feel the economic pressure, but I don't. I think that some of these people are just, they keep talking about how everybody's brainwashed. You believe in COVID, blah blah blah. It's like you don't know what's really out there in your world, and you're watching Facebook or fucking watching CNN or Fox News or one of those stupid channels with all these people who come out and create doubt. And it's like,
I think we're getting spoon-fed bullshit, and a lot of people are just opening their mouth and like, bring it, feed me whatever you want me to tell me, and that's what I'm going to believe. This echo chamber.
I kind of hold back a little bit because I just don't feel like getting into it with all my stupid Facebook friends that think that there's, something else going on, like some kind of left-wing conspiracy or Jewish space lasers or whatever the fuck they think is out there. Okay. The fake snow in Texas. That was the last one I heard. Like, who the fuck believes that that Bill Gates created fake snow and covered the entire state of Texas with it, right? And like, they're like, oh, look, the snowball doesn't melt, and it's like society has gotten so dumb. They're just so silly. They're at home reading their Bibles or whatever the fuck they're reading, and they're just dumb, and it's like I just wish people could just get their head out of their ass for just a little bit,
I feel like it's like that, but also I feel like it's a combination of so many different things. I feel like we're getting fed whatever we want to hear, right? Like, if we want to hear that it's a conspiracy, then we have all these outlets to go to tell us we're correct. And then, like, I feel like it's this algorithm, like we're living algorithms, if you will. Like, oh, if I think that coronavirus is fake, then everything on my feed is coming in that kind of same mentality, and I'm watching all these things that are the same mentality, and it's like justifying my craziness. I think that it's like a real problem because there's no source that has just straight science, straight facts, straight like real talk. It's all like whatever crazy fucking viewpoint you have. And like, that's fine. Like, if someone is this thought process and they're going to be my friend regardless, I think I have that. But there's a lot of people who don't have that, and they go, if you're this, I don't want anything to do with you. I'm only going to surround myself by this. And I think that's really dangerous.
They have these scientists that come out and say, okay, this is what's happening. This is what we should do. Those people get death threats, right? There's people who want to kill that Anthony Fauci guy. There's people that want to kill him. Like, they want him to die because he's saying something that they don't agree with. And it's just so bizarre. It's like, man, like I disagree with a lot of people. I can't any people I want to die. What are you doing?
D just farted. D did a lot of
no. It was he blew his nose.
He did a bunch of cocaine and just pooped your pants.
I did not do a bunch of, I wish, but no, it's Tuesday, and this guy blew his nose like a fucking monster that he is, and I already yelled at him right before I got back on the camera. So, how's everybody doing?
Okay, we were just talking about how fucking crazy society is.
Dude, society fucked up, right?
It's just really crazy, and I think like it's difficult because something's happening. Clearly, we're not getting the whole picture. We're just choosing what we want to hear. But some shit's fucking still not good.
Part of me is kind of like, I look around and I think more dead people is better. In our society.
Oh my God. Okay. So when this first
say that.
happened, I was like, I feel like this is like a process of like evolution of just like weaning out the bullshit people. And if like 50% of the bullshit people go, like I'm okay with it. And I know that sounds fucking terrible, and it is fucking terrible. And so like all the viewers and people, I know I'm a fucking terrible person. But in the
And guess what? This is not what were your expectations,
no,
guys?
in the beginning I didn't know. So like it was like almost a joke of like, well, you know, it's like 50% go, then like all the dumb people are gone. And then it got real fucking real, and I was like, oh my God, I'm like the biggest asshole ever, because these are like people's loved ones and shit, and like this is really scary. But in the beginning, I was like a fucking dick.
It's the same for me. It's sort of like, okay, don't run across the freeway. Okay, don't run across the freeway. The cars are real. You know, we could either put up a fence to keep people from running across the freeway.
They're still gonna jump over that fence.
Maybe we just don't put up a fence and we let it happen. But I'm like, part of me is like, gosh, you know, like, how the fuck are these people supposed to, like, how is it supposed to be real for a lot of people? Because the reality is 98% of the people don't die from COVID, you know, but if 2%, well, 2% of 350 million people is a lot of fucking people.
Yeah, because my mom's hospital in Anaheim, they were fucking packed. And I'm like,
yeah.
But the science is saying like 98% of people like live through it. Yeah, you're telling me there's people dying all the time, but you're in Anaheim.
Because
That's
if you put a percentage on millions of people,
yeah, you gotta think about it. The 2% of them, like millions of people, yeah, it's not that much, but in certain locations, it's a lot.
But we also don't understand the scale of it. You know,
that's true.
California, 40 million people, right? So that's
a lot of fucking people.
That's not like Montana where there's 500,000.
Nobody there, and a bunch of fucking grassland. Like,
and they all live 2 miles apart from each other. You know, so it's like the scale is just different. So people in Montana are like, hey, there's no problem. We're not having a problem. You know, but even in places like North Dakota, where they had people congregating in close areas, there were people, 30 people, 40 people from a meatpacking plant all died from COVID because they crammed into these conditions, no real ventilation, and they were all catching COVID and dying. And that's just the people who died. That's not everybody who got it. I don't know, man. I get it. I get that people want to make money. I get, and I wish people would just come out and say it. They should just come out and say, we're okay with people dying so we can keep making money. If they came out and said that,
I don't think that people want to prosper. I don't even know that I believe that people want to prosper is that people are just need to make money because there is no outlet for a relief.
So yeah, it's not prospering. It's living. It's called living. It's called bills. It's called, hey, I need to be one with society. And guess what? Shit happens and I still need to fucking do shit.
So if you're going to say that, if that's what you're going to say, just come out and say it. Right. Come out and say, it's okay if people die. We're not going to shut our business because we got to live and survive and pay our bills. And then there's all these like things, you know, that just aren't true. They won't say that. So they come up with a bunch of bullshit. Like the masks are dangerous, you know, like, oh, the masks are dangerous. It makes your CO2 levels go too high. Come up with all these bullshit lies about stuff just so they don't have to say, I'm okay with people dying to keep my business open. And look, as a society, if that's where we're headed, let's just fucking say that. Let's just say that there's a 2% of the people are going to die. And we're okay with it.
Here's the thing though, is I think that we need to get like real, and like when you say like we need to say it, I think we do. I think like the government needs to say, we are not going to give you financial help, so we're okay with people dying. And then the business owners can say, okay, well, since I know that I have no financial help, I know that there isn't going to be a problem.
Then I'm going to stay open. Yes, 100%. I totally agree with you.
And then it trickled down, right? And the people, like I personally live in a situation with a medically fragile person, so I have to make those day-to-day decisions. And if you're an elderly and then I have to say, I can't do that, so I'm going to live this sort of life and kind of figure it out. But I feel like because it's not trickling down the truth, and people are just having to be like, well, it's my personal belief that I should be able to work, and it's my personal belief that I shouldn't have to go to work, and it's my personal belief that I should be in my house, it gets really muddy. But if everybody just say
have accountability and not pass the fucking buck. But at first you need to have that level. What do you call it in the service industry? You have any industry, in fact, when you are trying to take it to the next level and the next level, there's a chain of command. You know what I mean? There's a chain of command, and the chain of command said one thing and it trickled down. But if it was a chain of command that said one thing and it trickled down, it would be fine.
Well,
it would be fine.
Here in California, people are ready to recall the governor, Gavin Newsom, right? And it's his own fault. He did these.
Yeah, this motherfucker had his fucking business open during COVID when he said not to, and he had his kids in fucking schools when other people could not have their kids in schools. So yes, of course, people are fucking gonna recall him. But that's with anybody who doesn't agree with anything.
But it's not just that. So he made all these decisions, but did nothing from the government side to help the people that he was shutting down. So
I know. Didn't you see that thing right now? He's like giving all these fucking checks and stuff to people right now.
Now he is. Because
now he is.
It's getting real for him. Okay. But before it was like, he's like, okay, we're just gonna shut
Isn't there an election coming up? Isn't there an election coming up right now? Like another couple elections, and all the small elections that are going on, because I'm getting text messages from all of them now that COVID happened. Guess what? I'm in with the mix. I see all that shit. I'm getting mail to my house. Like, oh, you gotta vote for this, because there's little fucking tiny elections going on throughout the whole fucking year that nobody fucking pays attention to, and you got to. And I think a lot of people are wise with that shit now that COVID happened, because I didn't pay attention to that shit before COVID.
Well, one thing the federal government's doing now is they're going to spend $2 trillion on giving people relief. But, California is the 5th largest economy in the world.
Yeah, but the relief is going to the people, and it's only 20%. Like, if you pay 20%, so I'm getting all this stuff too. I paid my rent, right? Because I'm like, I'm not going to be one of those people that are not going to pay their rent and be fucked for years to come, right? But I know some people that are paying, they only pay 20% of the rent. And supposedly 20% of your rent, it was okay. And now you can enter these little relief funds, right?
Okay.
I can't because I paid my bills. I've been paying my bills.
But it's not.
I use my EDD money to pay my bills. So now that I paid my bills and I'm still okay with it, I can't ask for that relief fund because I use my money wisely and I paid for those bills. So now what?
I'm just waiting for you to keep going.
No, but you got these people that are claiming these relief bills and stuff for what? What? Because I know so many people that either took money from the fucking government, they were in jail and they took money from the government, they took money and they fucking went on travels and fucking bought things with it, or they were like me and they fucking dealt with their fucking bills that they had to deal with.
But if you're only paying 20% of your rent, the landlord's the one who's eating that money. The landlord is the guy that's still got to pay his bills on the properties that he owns. So like
exactly. It's all trickles down.
it should be trickling up is what I'm trying to say. And
Exactly.
if Newsom had been a better leader in the beginning of this thing, he would have figured out how to get money into the hands, pay people's rents, give money so that landlords could live too, because landlords should be allowed to live. They shouldn't have this financing this whole thing. And like, if you say you can't evict somebody for not paying rent, you got to come up with another plan to feed money back into the system so that these landlords aren't the ones who are eating it. And you know what? They put money back into the economy too, right? So landlord gets to pay his bills, then they go out and they buy stuff and they repair their places, and it's like it trickles. It should be trickling up, but he didn't do anything like that until just recently. And you know, people have been struggling for a year.
But
And
nobody has in any of the states.
Nothing until right now. Right now it's okay. It's okay to fucking start doing that stuff. But it's like, no, everybody's been needing this stuff for a while already.
I feel like either states said, okay, we're just going to stay open and we're just going to like let it feed itself, or states
like Florida,
no relief. But like, I don't feel like any state paused anything. And I think that might have to come from the federal government, right? To pause shit.
Pause what? Somebody still has to pay, right? So
the top food chain is what the states and the banks, right? Why couldn't banks pause and then everything?
So because
we're not like Europe. All of Europe paused. We didn't. They have bidets. We don't. Okay, we're not civilized motherfuckers. We're still fucking animals that wipe our ass with tissue paper and fucking like sell out on that shit. Sorry.
Dan, you might have
get
to
a fucking bidet, bitches.
That D's mic off for like 5 minutes.
You only get like 3 to 5 words, so choose them wisely, Gio.
100%, especially when I've had shots inside me. What? Go ahead. I'll shut up. I'll put it on pause. Hey, I'll put it on mute.
You better say something fucking good.
We still have to watch her though. Now, how's that? That still works? Like her mic's going, her mic's off, but she's still like waving her arms and shit. It's crazy.
No, so wait, why couldn't the banks, like, why couldn't the highest, I mean, it's got to end somewhere,
well,
right?
They're doing it, right? So the reason the stock market's at like 31 right now is because the federal government is pumping money into the banks, right? So the banks are still funding all these big corporations, and that's why the stock market is doing like crazy, because there's big corporations that aren't at risk for losing a dime in this whole thing, and so that's the trickle down mentality. And what should have happened was we pay people's mortgages at the bottom level, make sure that the landlords can sign their tenants up to get relief, so the money goes straight to the landlords, and they can, because these people, when this is over, there's a lot of people are going to have big rent bills. Well, that's
the thing, right? Like, it's fine, like for New York, if they have eviction, like and where you like can't evict people until this certain date. But what happens when their lease comes up and they're like, hey, I'm not going to sign you for another 2-year lease because you can owe me $15,000 or whatever, like there's just when this moratorium's over, then people are going to, I think that's when we're really going to see people being homeless and fucked.
There's businesses downtown Huntington that can't be evicted, right? So they haven't been paying there's bars that you and I know, okay? They haven't been paying their rent at like $20,000 a month, right? So like, that shit's going to add up. When are they going to make, how good of a weekend are they going to have to catch up on that, right?
What I always say is the profit margins for restaurants, bars, and clubs are so low because it's such a high overhead to be able to do food and to do entertainment. It is, I mean, like, what was it? 1 in 10 business can actually sustain itself after a year. Like, and you expect them to like pay all this back rent. Most places just break even or are slightly profitable.
How's that going to happen? So someone's going to have to come in there and pay that, right? You can't just wipe the slate clean and tell all the landlords that they're screwed, And it's like, I'm lucky. I have a house. I have a tenant that's been paying his rent. He's been in construction and he's doing fine. And he's been late a few times, but he's been paying his rent. He doesn't owe a lot of money for that rent. But so I've been lucky. I got a guy who's like taking care of business, like D. Okay. But there's other people out there, that are just suffering. And I don't know. This whole thing, it's not over yet. We haven't even seen the aftermath of this. This thing is going to be crazy.
I always say that. I feel like there's a cause and effect to everything, and I think we're still in the cause. I don't think we've seen the effect yet. I mean, we've paid our rent too. We've pieced it together, been like, I'm going to give you 800 now and 1,000 there, and but we're paid in
Same
full.
thing with us. We signed another year lease and just tacked on the money to our year lease. So we're paying a little bit more than what our rent is, but we're still, paying the money.
Yeah.
Now that I'm working, it's better.
Also,
but before, like, I don't know if I would have, there's no way I would have lasted another 6 months like this at all.
Credit cards. How many people are fucking living off of those credit cards? And what happens when, you all know, like, how much, if you pay the minimum amount due, how long it lasts that you're going to have to be until you pay it off. So, like, what are all these people going to do that are just deferring it or paying monthly minimums until their jobs come back? Like, that's all. We're definitely in the cause, and we still have a lot of effects to happen.
And there's some kind of bailout. There needs to be some kind of bailout for regular people to let the money trickle up back into the economy.
Do you think they will?
I think that there's so much pressure against doing something like that because people win. Like when the banks, that in 2008, when the banks started failing and all those mortgages were bad, the banks got the double dip. They got to take properties from people, and then they got bailed out on all those bad mortgages at the same time. So the mortgages got paid and cleared, and then the banks also kept the property too. So then the banks turn around, sold these foreclosed properties to like insiders at the bank, funds and things like that, that were all of a sudden all the venture capital money went to real estate. And so all guys bought up all this real estate and they turned around and sold it when the market came back. So it's just another thing that like we have to do something that helps the common people here, not just bail out billionaires.
I think that's like, I think that's like the hard part is everybody is kind of like support, like, like.
You guys are gonna kill me, but my iPad's about to go.
Did he go?
Yeah.
He literally just said it.
Can't he just call us back on his cell?
Unless Gio's old, so unless he put that app on his phone, wait, was it on his phone or his iPad?
His iPad. Huh?
Is that like, did you get that from TJ? Did you get that shirt from TJ? Because I remember me going to Mexico or TJ, and I used to get like the dresses that have like all the like the little things on them.
Have you ever been to Sarah Street?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you got it there? Okay.
I love that place. It's all hand embroidered.
Yeah, I love all this stuff. Matt has a couple of shirts like that are like, they're like, I think they're waiter shirts because I only see Mexican guys wearing the shirts when they're like at Mexican restaurants and they wear it, but they have the pocket and like the embroidered stuff too. But Matt's all like, no, those are party shirts. Like back in it, I'm like, oh yeah, I remember all the Tios wearing like the shirts.
Yeah,
at like a party or whatever.
Them, but They don't sell, like, you have to find
But
them.
I want like the dress, you know, because like back in the day, like they came, you know, like the peasant.
There's a couple Instagram people that I follow that I like absolutely love, and they have the cutest little Mexican dresses, like really, really.
Why have you not tagged me in them? Why? Because I'm not Mexican enough for you. Bitch, my stepdad that raised me since I was 2 is Mexican.
I am just really bad at social media, but I like follow them because I'm like, one day I'm gonna buy these things, but I actually probably
You never do.
Oh,
You're like, oh, I'm gonna buy them.
What? I got Femme Dior's back glasses.
Wait, are you talking about these ones?
Do you have them already with the coffin case? Please tell me you have the coffin case. Can we be matchy sisters? Can we just do a whole podcast being matchy sisters with sunglasses on? I'm glad Gio is not part of this conversation.
Wait, are you talking about these ones?
No, but close.
Okay. Oh, Femme Noirs. The bad glasses, the vampire ones. Oh, you got those.
They came.
So I went with my girlfriend, and her daughter was with us, and I was gonna get the black ones or the gold ones, and the kid said, "I don't like those. Those are ugly." So I didn't get them.
Every time I go to get them, they're out of stock, and
the black ones or the gold ones.
I got the black ones. Yeah,
the black ones are good. You could wear that with everything.
And then I got the coffin case too, which I'm so
obsessed, and yeah, you need them because you're a Lily monster. Like,
I have to. Anyway, yeah, I can't find them, but I'm really excited. But I always put things in my cart of like, I'm gonna buy all these things, and I never do. But I will definitely tag you in those really cute cute dresses.
So, are you a little buzzed?
I'm very buzzed.
So, is it gonna be our anniversary tonight?
Anniversary? No, nothing's on my butt teeth. I'm telling you, like, okay. I'm gonna give you a visual. After kids, it's like a grenade went off in your vagina. And if it's like there's two little
meat curtains.
There's 2 openings, and if a bomb goes off in this opening, everything's affected.
The whole, like, so seriously?
Yeah.
It's like fucked up like that?
Nothing is ever gonna go in my butt ever again.
It's never gonna be the same ever.
Never.
After kids, it's never gonna be the same.
No, it's not the same. And if people are fucking saying that it is the same,
okay, 100%.
Fuck you. B, you're probably lying. It's like when you're like, do you remember like there's a time frame in your young adulthood when people are like, do you masturbate? And you're like, no.
Yeah.
Really? Like, yeah. And it just older where you're like, fuck yeah. Like that's people fucking lying. Like, fuck you. Like your shit's not normal. Like you better do some fucking Kegels because you're fucking lying.
Okay, so 100% bitches are lying.
Bitches are fucking lying. Even if you,
I know they say that it's not the same, but like you're saying, like 1 to 10. 10 being the worst, 1 being like the closest to your natural pussy. What would it be?
Wait, 1 being closest?
1 being the closest to your natural pussy, 10 being like it's fucked up.
It's like a 8.
I saw that 7, 8. I saw that 7, 8.
Yeah, like 8.5, 9.
Okay, kids.
So
basically don't have kids, otherwise your vagina is gonna blow up like a fucking grenade.
Here's the thing, right? Like motherhood is like so many fucked up things happen in your body that nobody talks about. Like
I'm 100% happy that our friendship has come to that point where we've gone through our young stage, our single stage, our fucking fucked up stage, our fucking like let's get together stage, let's get married stage, let's have fucking I'm fucking pregnant stage to diapers Thank you for showing me diapers because you are the only friend out of all my friends, and I'm older than all of you guys. So the diapers, like, definitely was like, that is a milestone in our friendship. And thank you so much for that because nobody ever showed pictures of that. And after that, guess what? Everybody started showing pictures of that shit. So you were the pioneer of showing bitches the true face of birth.
Here's
And
like nobody talks about it, right? I was just talking to Mike about this earlier because fuck you, Mike, because Mike didn't tell me that your vagina explodes.
yeah, fuck you, Mike, if you're listening. Yeah. Fuck you. And by the way, pause. Is Gio on the other end?
No, he said he's coming back in a second.
Okay.
Mike did not tell me all of the shit that happens to your, like, literally a grenade explodes in your vagina. Like, shit gets fucked up. And some people are way worse than others, but like, it's just never like, if you had to squeeze out like a 7, 8, 9, 10 pound baby, like
7, 8, 9, 10.
You that your shit went back to normal because no, it didn't. You're a fucking liar. So
yeah.
Like nobody told me that. Like nobody told like your shit, like there's a grenade and then your shit gets blown open. And then what do? Like you can't fucking pee out of that anymore. Like you have to do a spray bottle. You have to wear like a full blown diaper. Like I mean, like people do not talk about this sort of
thing.
thing.
Because in school they don't teach you that shit either.
And then your boobs get like nice and voluptuous, but then they like, because they're stretched like a balloon, like if you ever blown up a balloon and then let the air out and it looks like perfect again.
They're like the balloon, they shrivel up and like the nipples like this, and like this is kind of wobbly.
Fucking boobs for the rest of your life. Then you gain a bunch of fucking weight so that your chin grows and your arms grow and like everything grows to like feed this fucking baby. And then they come out and everything goes back, but like nothing really goes back because if you've blown up a balloon. This is shit to talk about, right? People are just like, oh, you're gonna have this really cute baby and the baby's gonna wear all these cute clothes and it's gonna be like, you're gonna love him, and like you do, but like your body gets so fucked. And so like Nick, I remember when I had my first son, and I'm sure everybody who doesn't want to hear this already tuned out, but when I had my first son, I text Ryan and I'm like, have you fucking looked down there yet? Because we had our babies one day apart. I had mine and then she had hers like the next day. And I was like, did you fucking take a motherfucking mirror and look down there? And I took I got some shit and I
like a paddle mirror. You were like, I want to see what the fuck my shit looks like still. Because it was pretty before and now it might be fucked up.
It's fucked up. It is fucked up. And she was like, no, I don't want to look. And I was like, well, I fucking look and don't fucking look.
Oh, look.
Okay, so, that's a long answer to where Nick is not getting close to my butt. Ever again.
So if nobody, okay. So back in the day, when we're all working at second floor, we were all talking about butt sex or whatever. And I was like, oh, just like go numb. Like go limp, guys. Just go limp. Meaning like
have such little, okay, here comes Gio.
Just go limp. Oh, this is perfect. Gio, have you talked about butt? Gio, we're talking about butt sex right now.
Again.
Now
okay.
So Dee's big advice when we were in second floor is if you want to have butt sex, just to like completely like let go of all life. Go limp.
Yeah, you gotta go limp. You gotta go like limp. You gotta be like. So I was like, hey, I mean, your vagina's fucked up because you had kids, but like, do it in the butt.
So I got my period for the first time in like 18 months. And so Dee was like, just get butt sex. And I said, nothing is coming next to my butt. Literally ever again.
That's strong advice, Jenny. Strong advice.
No, it's 100% the wrong advice that you should be giving to her. And she just needs to let go and just
Listen,
relax.
I'm not going to give anybody but sex advice, nor will I take any from anyone, especially
I
you.
feel like
D was like, literally, we were in Johnny's, wasted, screaming about butt sex, and D's like, just play dead, like go limp. And then we were all literally like, you know those dolls that you like push the button and they just like, we were all
the old school dolls. Yeah. But who has that picture? Because there's at least 4 or 5 of us, and we're all like,
Val. I think Val has it.
She has that fucking picture. That fucking bitch.
What's so funny is the other day I came across it. You know how like your iPhone, if you have an iPhone, it like suggests like pictures from a year ago or 3 years ago.
Yeah, that's Facebook. Yeah.
No, not Facebook. My iPhone does it too. All the pictures that are on my iPhone. And dude, some of the pictures that come up just make me fucking laugh. I sit there and I'm like, I sent Jen a few pictures the other day. I was just laughing my ass off at them.
Mike's birthday. I don't know what made us all get together. It was like, I feel like it was a spontaneous like thing. That was one of the funnest bananas trip of.
What trip are you talking about?
We all went. It was Mike's birthday, and we all went to San Clemente, right?
Yeah, it was Mike. We went to that. I don't forget what bar we were at in San Clemente, but hold on a second. Hold on. Hey, Lola.
What?
Lola.
Hi. We love you.
Hi, Lola. Come on our podcast. Say what's up.
Hi.
Hello. Hi. We miss your face. Come here. Don't act like you don't know us just because you're in high school and you're cool in a band and stuff.
Lola. Hi. We love you. You did so good at your concert. Huh? Hi.
Lena, hello. Hi, baby. Yay, the whole fam bam's on.
I love your
Okay, get out of your room now.
Damn. No, you can stay in there. Tell him to get out.
Your room is awesome.
I know. Yeah. Look at all the records and stuff up on the ceiling.
Oh, that's amazing.
I kind of have I have hats up there, but she has records up there, so that's better.
She just wanted me to show you all the dirty clothes on our floor.
Show us all of it. That's how our room was when we were younger. That's fine.
Yeah, you have to figure out what you're wearing, and you can only do that by trying everything on.
And you can only feel what blacks are blacks by touching them anyway. So.
Okay.
Black shirts have different feels to them. They all have different feels to them. They might all be black, but they're feels.
I'm glad we were talking about butt sex when you came back to Lola's room. So it's great.
Awesome.
Great. Thanks, guys. Thanks.
Well, if anything, I was giving good advice because I was saying no butt sex.
And I was saying yes to all the butt sex.
I feel like I'm with you on that one, Ted.
No.
Yeah, but those pictures made me laugh. There was a few of them in there. The best is still that video of Ari, at the Harbor House.
You know what? My face was so annoyed. I felt so guilty because Ari was like wasted at the table and she was just like trying to tell me that she loves me, but she was like signing to me like a drunken mute. And I was just like this, like, yeah, I know. Eat your fucking French fries. And I felt so guilty. Gio, I almost sent you a picture the other day of Johnny on his little little tray high chair table, literally throwing everything off of it, like all his cereal, like everything off of it. And I was like,
dude, Johnny's like a little fat ass. He eats everything. He was eating everything. She was like spoonfuls in his mouth, and he was just getting. He eats. He's an eater. He's an eater.
Yeah, he is also like a little monster, and he just like throws everything off of it, and that's like how I am when I'm drunk. And Nick is always like, "Who does that remind you of?"
You.
I was at the Harbor House the other night, pointing out to the table that we were sitting at when something similar to that occurred.
I feel like it makes me really happy that the Harbor House exists still.
Yeah. Barely.
Yeah, I hope they never go out of business because a lot of those places around that area went out of business. So
it was sad going in there because everybody who used to work there that I knew pretty much left. You know, some of the in there for like 25 years were gone.
Why?
You know?
Because they just didn't have enough room for them during COVID.
They just aren't doing well. You know.
Is Turks still there?
Who?
Turks.
Yeah, they haven't been open at all. That guy owns 2 bars. He owns the Irisher in Seal Beach too.
He doesn't own Turks in Dana Point. Is it Dana Point?
No. Yeah, that's TURK too, not URC. But like all those guys would be surprised if a lot of people we know are gone after all this. You know.
Of course, yeah. There's just like not a way for them to. It doesn't financially make any sense. I mean, the only reason my job exists is because we raised over $80,000.
Oh, it's funny. Yeah.
Yeah, but like how many places, I mean, can you raise money as just like a breakfast place or like a bar? Like, you know?
No. And so that's why a lot of the places in Orange County have just been ignoring it, you know?
Shooters. I mean, we shouldn't say things like that.
Yeah.
Young old Jamie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's plenty of places that are just gonna run this out. Check it.
Yeah. I mean, what's the point? Like, if they close you down, what's the difference between you losing everything anyway, right?
Yep.
Why not try?
I'm surprised with the New York mentality that more places in New York didn't do that.
I don't know. You know, in LA, if you're in LA City, they were like shutting off your water and power if they caught you doing it. Isn't that wild? They shut off your water and power.
That's
wild. So that's what Matt and them were talking about, because they have a gay bar next door, and there's the barbershop, and then it's like a restaurant, like a brunch place, Roosters. So they were thinking about, oh, what's gonna happen if they try to turn off our water? But like they can't, because there's a restaurant right next to them. It's like connected. They all pay the same bill. So they can't they can't turn off the water or electricity or whatever, because then it's gonna fuck up the restaurant. So in those aspects, cool. But in other, it sucked because they were just turning people's fucking bills off. They can't live with that. They can't even not even if they wanted to do business and open up, they couldn't even do that because their shit was all off.
You know what's wild?
Fucked up.
So you had before COVID, you had all these rules for restaurants, like can't serve outside, they can't do this, they can't do that. And then you go to downtown Huntington Beach, which Huntington Beach is probably one of the most restrictive cities with regard to how they treat bars and restaurants. So now they're all eating outdoors, drinking outdoors, all the things that they said that would make the world end if they had done this prior to COVID, you know. And now it's like, how are they ever going to go back from that? How are you going to tell these restaurants that never had patio dining that they can't have patio dining now because it's somehow bad for the community? It's not. It's been good, you know, and it's been nice to be able to go to a bar.
Yeah, Main Street's been like overrun with all the restaurants and bars like putting their patios out on the street. Yeah. It was like Tuesdays, but like instead of just Tuesdays, it was every day of the week, you know?
Yeah.
So now you're gonna say that they can't do that stuff?
Same with New York, because there was no outdoor anything, and now they extended permits and it's going until, 2022, I think. And it's great because you do need that sort of outdoor indoor thing, you know.
Yeah.
Texas was fucking booming, dude. Texas, one of my customers, he's like, I'm here in Texas and the Texas outdoor is like fucking ridiculous. He sent me a picture and it was just like they did their outside door, like outside dining room, amazing. It was crazy. They had a big old like bar, like a wraparound bar, and then they had all picnic benches all over the place, lights all over the place. It was crazy.
There's a place I go to breakfast at in Newport that they have more seating outside than they ever had inside.
Yep.
You know?
Yep. That's a lot of the places I know at our bar, especially if we have our outside seating area, it's way more than we have indoor. Like they're going to open up 25% this week indoor. And it's like, okay, well, we still have permits for outdoor. So we're still going to set up the outdoor, and outdoor is twice as much indoor. It's crazy.
Yeah. It just shows that some of the rules they use to regulate restaurants in general are just bullshit and arbitrary. You know, they're like not even, there's no factual reason why they do any of that stuff. It's just a power trip on the city's part to control.
And take ways to make money because this permit costs much so that you can be able to do this.
Yeah.
Especially Huntington, like you have to buy these parking spots, and these parking spots are multiple thousands of dollars to be able to do this, and you can't dance, and you can't happy hour, you can't do this, you can't do that, because if you do, you have to pay this amount of dollars. So it's very difficult to be able to, and then so that just goes back into like your profit margins, right? They're even lower, and these high rents, this high overhead, these high hoops that you have to jump through to be able to do something simple.
It's pretty dumb.
I really do think it's going to be a very, very long time before things are back to normal, and I hope that some of these things help, you know, like stay and help, because like if we could have summer with like an occupancy inside plus the outside, that would really help. What?
Lois just has to come in here. She's like when you see people's pets walking around the background.
We love you, Lola. You could come anytime. We'll give you a shot. Just kidding, we won't. Want to do a shot?
Is it a shot? We haven't had one in a while.
Well, we had one when you were gone.
No.
Or did we?
I've had a couple of them, so I don't know what you're talking about, but
I had to. But I'm taking these. Cheers. I'm out of my beer.
This tequila is really good. I've never had it before.
What kind is it?
It's called Altos.
show us a bottle.
That's the front of it?
Yeah. It's like the bottle has the name on it. The glass.
Huh.
Like El Jimador. El Jimador has the name on it. They named this after the fucking blue agave pickers.
You know, Carla's, you know, my friend Carla, right? Her dad brought that over to me the other day with some food. Showed up at my house when he heard my mom died. So,
that's so nice.
Yeah, they're good people.
So what do you think is to come, Gio? Like as far as like this whole thing, and something we always ask everybody is, are you going to get the shot, the vaccine?
I already got two. I got my second vaccination on February 2nd.
Which one?
How are you? Did you feel sick? Like what was going on? What happened? Tell us the story.
Nothing happened. My arm was sore. That was it. I thought after the first shot, I thought maybe I had a little headache that night. Nothing bad. And then the next day I was fine. The second shot was my arm was sore for like 2 days. And then that was it. Marlena had a stronger reaction to it. She was like in bed for within 24 hours of the shot. She was like down for the count, feeling really sick, feeling ill. And then a day later it was gone.
Did Lola get it too? Since
No.
both of you guys got it?
Kids can't get it right now.
18, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's 18 and over?
Which one
Yeah.
did you get?
I got the Moderna.
So I'm getting the Moderna on Thursday.
So that's two shots?
Yeah.
Does everybody in your household have to get it?
We are both getting it, but we're doing it a week apart just in case so that we're not both like fucked up at the same time.
But the kids don't have to get it.
They can't.
The first
So
shot.
kids are immune to the fucking they are immune to it?
No, it's just they just didn't do a lot of testing on kids for safety with the vaccine. So they are just, we're not going to give it to kids because there's not enough data to show that it's safe with kids.
So it's safe for us, but not safe for the kids.
Well, it's not that it's unsafe for the kids. It's just that they didn't test it on kids.
Oh, well, why didn't they test it on the kids?
Because the first thing, a lot of the people who were having bad reactions to COVID itself
We're older.
And so they've just focused on getting it out for the populations of people who were the most affected by the COVID.
So back in the day when they had like, what was it, SARS? When it like went from adults and older people to younger people, they didn't think that was going to happen maybe this time?
Well, it didn't happen.
Okay.
I mean, it didn't. Some kids got sick, but no, it wasn't
not enough. Yeah.
So we will both get the shot, but we are not going to come out of quarantine because
you are not coming out of quarantine. What do you mean?
So we'll both have the shot, so we'll be immune ourselves, or like what is it?
Because the shot doesn't like
prevent
guarantee that you're not going to get it, right?
It's like 95% that I can't get it, but it's not proven yet that I can't spread it to my children.
Yeah,
okay.
You can get it. It's just if you do get it, it won't be as fatal for you either.
But you can still transfer it to other people.
Moderna has a record of that so far. Pfizer looks like it's people who got the Pfizer are spreading it to people. Moderna, it seems like it's not as much, and they don't know what the new one that's coming out. But the new one that's coming out.
Did you hear about the Johnson & Johnson one?
Yeah, and then there's an AstraZeneca.
So how's that have you heard anything good about the Johnson & Johnson one? Where it's like it's a one shot one, not a 2-shot one.
Yeah, it's less effective. It's like 70% effective, 65% effective. But that's still pretty good,
I mean, you work in the hospital industry, so I want to hear what you're saying and what you're hearing, because what we're hearing on this side is different, or different opinions, Well, but I want to hear your opinions on everything too.
They're just opinions, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
that's why I ask every episode if anybody's going to get it, because I want to know what your ideas are and what your beliefs are, and like if you think that it's working, and if you're in the hospital business, like I want to know what you feel, because there's other people that are like us, you're still in the service industry, but it's on a different level, whereas we are in a service industry, but we're at bars and stuff. You work with hospitals and stuff, so I want to hear.
From my point of view, D, it's like I've been around infectious disease most of my adult life. There's tuberculosis, there's hepatitis, there's all kinds of things out there that you can catch from people who have infectious disease, and we don't even know it, right? So like you can catch hepatitis from being in an elevator with somebody.
Yeah.
So I got the hepatitis B vaccinations. I redid all my mumps, measles, and rubella.
You did all them? Oh, okay.
I did all those like a few years back.
Okay.
I took the titers, and I needed a booster, so I just went and got it all done, because I just think that the disease is way worse than the than all this stuff about the vaccines. And some people have bad reaction to vaccines. There's no question about that. But I would rather, take my chances with the vaccine rather than the disease, especially when like Lola was young. Like 1 in 5 kids who catch whooping cough die.
Yep.
It's 1 in 5, and it's like, why would I even take the chance? Just take the vaccine. I won't get whooping cough and I won't give it to my kid. You know what I mean? So it's like pretty simple logic for me, and I put, I don't want to say I believe in science like it's some kind of religion or something, but I trust it.
I mean, it's proof.
Yeah, and we trust it every day. You trust it every day. We trust science every single day of our lives with everything that we do, So all these things about vaccines and stuff, yeah, it could be a government conspiracy that they're really implanting chips when they give us a vaccine for something or whatever the fuck these people think is happening, but I just think of it like this. How could the government be that good at a conspiracy? They're not that good at a lot of things. They're good at war is what they're good at, but everything else, they kind of fuck it up, so like they had some kind of crazy conspiracy. I don't think they could ever really pull it off. And these people,
aliens.
I was gonna say the same thing, D. They were good at that.
How about aliens? Do you believe in aliens?
When I see one, I believe the possibilities are pretty high that there's aliens.
Elon Musk does not believe in aliens.
Silly.
Okay. He's a pretty smart guy.
He's
a very smart guy, but guess what? Smart doesn't always mean that you're fucking smart.
But there's lots of really
It makes you blind to certain things, There's lots
of smart people who believe in God too, so
it's like I tripped out when I heard that he does not believe in aliens. I go, wow, this guy who's so fucking smart does not believe in that. But hey,
I mean, it's pretty like self-centered to think that we're the only life forms, but the only reason we think that mostly is because of the Bible. God didn't create aliens. He created man, in the Garden of Eden and all that stuff.
But why can't man be other forms of life? Why just us as man?
That's a good point.
He created an image of himself, right?
I don't know. That's what the book says.
That's what the book says. So I'm like, an image of himself could be like a fucking bald-headed little fucking freak that has big ass eyes and a big ass head. And like,
did you guys watch that? Me and dear Joe Rogan fans, did you watch that documentary that they were the one that we talked about? Dee, did you watch that actual one?
I did not. No, I did not.
Okay. All right.
Now that you remind me of that, I might. Now I need to I need to watch it.
You have to pay for it, but it's fucking worth every penny. It's so
what is it?
Good.
What is it?
God, I can't. Okay, I'm gonna look it up. You guys just talk among yourselves.
So, aliens. Do you believe that that's true or not?
Well, after knowing you for so long, Dee, yes.
What the fuck? Calm the fuck down. Relax, Jose. Okay.
You are not from this planet.
I definitely am not, and I'm going to take that as a fucking compliment.
I think Matt's just propping up your cover story. Like
that's weirder than I am. Are you kidding me? Okay.
Men in Black.
No. Matt's fucking weird.
Does Matt believe
he talks about sucking farts out of my ass and making it sherbet. Like, he talks about like all of the fucking. He heard me.
Poor Matt.
Oh, babe, I didn't say that.
Sorry I dragged you into this conversation, Matt.
Okay. Do you guys want to have a guest appearance?
Yeah.
Oh.
I feel like maybe we should have a guest appearance. Babe, come here.
Everybody's asking when we're going live.
This is not my side. He needs to be on that other side. There we go. Okay.
The phenomenon, not phenomenon with Travolta. No. The phenomenon with the documentary that the people went on Joe Rogan, and the ending.
Yeah.
It's
100%.
It's like fuck that. The movie is so good. It's disturbing how good it is. Dee, stop fucking eating peanuts.
Hey, by the way.
Stop eating peanuts while you're talking.
I know she keeps triggering her video every time she crunches into something.
Hey, Olive and Herb makes nuts from Trader Joe's. Just gonna say they're fucking bomb. Okay, I'll stop. Hey, I'll fucking put it on mute. I will put it on mute.
Don't threaten us, Dee.
She needs to eat her nuts, Gio. She's gonna mute so that she can eat her nuts. So you have the floor, Gio. Say something good.
Oh man, got nothing good. I use it all on my attacks at D. I'm out. The
nuts. Dee's loves those nuts.
I think that the what we're all going through right now is just everybody's questioning everything. Nobody knows what to believe. Everyone's just kind of, reverting back to like the last thing they heard is what they believe, and it's bad. It's I'm glad that this pandemic wasn't worse. Maybe if it was worse, maybe more people would have gotten on board, but it was just bad enough for people to be like, oh, 2%, no big deal.
I don't think so. I don't think I have that much faith in humans. I really think that we're very self-centered creatures, and I don't know that no matter what it is, people would have ever united on a decision. I think there's always going to be people who fight it because it's inconvenient for my life. And
yeah.
It sucks.
Yeah.
But I do think that it really taught everybody what to appreciate and what not, and like, is the life that we're living the right way? And I also think that there is no right way to handle this pandemic. I don't think there is a right way of there's better ways than what we're doing, but I don't know that there is a right way. I think either people are going to die or people are going to save their business. And I don't think that either way is right. I think
I still want to see when I'm really old, I want to see how historians explain why everybody bought toilet paper.
Well, I mean, because everybody didn't have bidets. Like, come on now.
That's why.
Come on, guys. It's fucking USA, and nobody in the European, like Asia, whatever fucking culture, they didn't run out of toilet paper. We did. Because why? We didn't have bidets.
But we never ran out. I mean,
no, yeah, we did.
People just thought we were going to run out.
No, we did. We did.
Made everybody run out.
No, we did run out, and everybody was fucking angry about it. But guess what? I told everybody at the beginning of the fucking pandemic, buy socks and bidets, because guess what? That shit's gonna fucking be worth something.
But
it was.
It goes back to like our selfishness.
Why are we the only culture that does not have bidets? We do not wash our assholes. We rather have wet wipes than bidets that fucking wash your asshole. There's no fucking wet wipe. Guess what we had today? We had 3 fucking what are you calling, babe? Like plumbing, like plumbers around here blowing out. What did they call it? Air blowout? What did they call it? What? Hydrojetting. They were hydrojetting all the like the sewer lines, right? Why? Because everybody's fucking using wet wipes and fucking toilet tissue and fucking shitting their shit off and fucking wiping that shit, right? But if you had bidets, you wouldn't need that shit. Because guess what? That's more civilized than what we are. And we're not civilized.
Hey, D, how much stock in bidets have you bought?
100.
100 what?
100 stocks.
You bought 100 bidets to sell in a crisis?
100 stocks. And you don't even know, because guess what? Next year, I'm telling you, even like Starbucks and all the little cafes that were around you, guess what? Nobody knows how to fucking make coffee for themselves. I don't know why. Nobody knows how to make coffee. Every Starbucks that you see, there's a fucking line at the fucking door. Even during COVID. It's like, why the fuck?
Hold up. I'm going to yell about this because I got one of those fucking spinny wand things that you fucking showed on Instagram.
The frother. Make your own motherfucking froth.
I sprayed coffee all over the place.
You gotta put it inside. You gotta put it in it.
Fucking miserable.
It's like
Give me a fucking coffee shop.
Okay, first, it's like a dick. You gotta put it inside. You gotta go inside, because it's too fast, right? Remember, I said it. Did you not listen to my thing? I said if I had a vibrator that was this fast, I would not need that.
Yes, but it I went all the way to the bottom and it just went.
But how much is your coffee? How much coffee do you have in your mug?
Oh God.
It shouldn't even be that much.
Just think how much damage Jen could do with a bidet. Okay.
You know what? Actually, I'm not gonna lie, because she sent a picture and she was asking us about how to use a bidet.
I tried to use a bidet in on our cross country trip, and I was like, my thighs are too weak. So I was like trying to, and I couldn't figure it out. So Nick is literally standing in front of me, holding me by the shoulders as my butt is waving in the air as I'm trying to like clean my asshole. And I didn't poop, but I just wanted to like know, I wanted to bidet my butt just to like, just to know what I'm doing. And it was like the most embarrassing, funny thing. And like, he's holding me up. Water is hitting my butt and flying all over the place. I'm completely soaked. I'm completely naked because I don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
Poor Nick.
Bidets are illegal.
That poor bastard.
I got an illustration of that, and it was the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life.
I sent Dia.
I think I want to print that out, and like if it's your birthday or his birthday, I'm gonna print that out and put it on a cake. Just FYI, that will come.
I googled how you use a bidet, and it confused me. So I was like, well, how do you use a bidet?
You gotta face the wall. Starting.
I did.
Our bidet, you do not face the wall.
We went into a hotel room one time. I think we're in like Venezuela.
Hotel room.
We were in Venezuela and there was a bidet in there. Marlena tried to use it, and all I heard was screaming coming from the bathroom. I go in there and there's like water shooting everywhere. I was on the ground.
Like, your butt cheeks and like flew everywhere. I was covered in water. I don't fucking know. I need to watch. We're gonna get real one day. You're gonna use your bidet in front of me. I'm gonna learn a few things because Google did not help.
I feel like Dee probably got like a storage, one of those self-storage places, stockpiled with bidets, just waiting for the next apocalypse to happen, where everybody needs a bidet.
No, I already sold all of them. Calm down. Don't try to get in on this mix. It's already done. I already made a lot of money on it. Okay, it's already in my savings account.
Me on the news for price gouging for bidets.
100%. Did you know? I'm done. I fucking hustle.
Dee was on the bidet train long before the pandemic.
She knows what's up. I'm telling you, I already fucking knew about that shit before COVID. And then everybody bought it during COVID because everybody ran out of toilet tissue. And then everybody thought, oh, I always went to Europe. And this is what happened when I went to Europe. Because guess what? When I went to Asia, it was kind of scary. Because when I went into the fucking bidet, like the bathroom, it was like a bidet or it was a hole.
I was just about to say, didn't you just go in the hole?
No, I'm not going in the hole.
When I was in Turkey, there's like these things called Turkish toilets. And they have like 2 footprints on the ground, and it's a hole in the ground. You turn a faucet on the wall, and it like runs water into the hole.
It was like a toilet tissue. It was like a toilet, but I was on the floor. So you didn't have like the the stand, it was like you squatted.
Yeah.
And on the outside of the porta potty or whatever, the restaurant, like the restroom or whatever, it had a squatty thing, or it had a toilet, you know? So yeah, 100%. Americans are 100% behind that trend. Bidets.
Gio, if you're gonna take one thing away from the pandemic that made you a better person or that you're happy about happened, what would it be?
Probably was the amount of effort my friends and I made to stay in contact with each other. That's probably the best thing, because like, you know, I had like a close group of friends that didn't just go off in their own little world. We all made efforts to stay in contact with each other, and I think that's probably the best thing that happened. You know, I think that my small circle of people, you know, even certain, not just you guys, but like people, like a couple of friends of mine from high school, you know, we started like a big thread, a text message thread, where we're constantly talking to each other and stuff, and talking shit and being funny and just reaching out to each other. Like one of my buddies, his daughter died during this whole thing, and you know, we stayed in touch. We got around him. You know, we were able to reach out to him, and he reached out to us when he's having problems. I think that's probably the one thing I can take away from this whole thing that I thought was a good thing. But there's not much, honestly. Like I feel like I kind of saw the worst in people this year, you know, in not just my friends, but in society in general. You know, all this like people fighting in the streets, and all the racists came out of the woodwork, and like people that I really liked who just come up with these really racist attitudes, as if like this somehow makes them feel better. Everything's going to shit, so hey, why not? Let's just start hating on whoever, you know, whoever's
Yeah,
not
it
like
was
a
weird. It was really weird to see this year, and how like the friends that you thought were your friends were fucking weird.
they're people I still think are friends.
I mean, and I have beliefs, and my friends have beliefs, and we might not agree on the same beliefs, you know what I mean? But I feel like my friends are my friends, and they get who I am, and I get who they are, and that's how it's going to be. But there's a lot of segregation now. I feel like more than ever.
Yeah, I think a certain group of our population has like retreated into this like bunker of, you know, selective information, and it's bad. And you know, you have to really work hard to go get objective information about stuff, and some people just can't do that. Some people don't want to do that, you know, they don't want to hear anything that like contradicts how they feel, you know. And it's like, I don't know, I mean, that's something that I saw that makes me think that if something really big happens, I mean, this was pretty big, but you know, if something really big happens, we're all going to be in trouble, you know. It's going to be tough, you know.
Dee, what do you think what did you take away from this? I mean, not that it's over, but
I mean, I took away from, I now realize that a lot of the shit that I was stressing on, I don't need to be stressing on. And I feel like even going back to my business, I'm stressing on a lot of stuff that I shouldn't be stressing on. So it's like going back to the same mindset I was before, when all of us service industry people, we already took a year off, you know. So we should go in there, fresh mind and all that stuff. But I see the memes. I see the memes. I see my attitude. And it's the same thing. Like, what the fuck, you know? So it's like, now I have to reassess myself and like think, is this worth it? Like, is it worth it for me to be stressing about this? I didn't stress on it for a whole year. and it was fun. Yeah, I was a little sad because I wasn't social or I wasn't making money or whatever, but does that really matter? Does other people really matter? Does money really matter? What matters to me? Spending time with my friends and my family that I didn't get to spend time with, learning new hobbies and doing new things and like meeting new people. I've actually met a ton of new people during this whole COVID thing, whether or not they're in California or not. I've met so many people, you know. So I don't know. This whole year has taught me to accept, and not to worry about other things. Like just live day by day, because that's what we were doing, was living day by day. We didn't know what was going on. We didn't know what was gonna happen the next week. We didn't know if our mom or dad or loved one was gonna be passing away. We didn't know. We didn't know. There was a lot of opinions. There was a lot of shit that was happening on last year, but we didn't know. We didn't know shit. And guess what? Everybody kind of like, you know who your tribe is. Your tribe doesn't need to be like your family. Your tribe is who you choose to be your tribe. And I feel like it made me realize who I need to talk to, who I need to be associated with, and what I need to put my energy into. And yeah, I don't know.
You know, I feel like my tribe got a lot smaller over the last
100%.
year, but I'm totally okay with that, because I've
100%.
seen some of the people who've kind of fallen out of that group that I would see myself. There was a pretty I thought it was a pretty broad base of people, you know, but it really isn't. It's just there's a few people now that matter, few people I give a fuck about. There's a few people that, you know, I'll make the effort and know that the effort's going to come back to me, you know, 10 times more to interact with them and stuff. But I think that, you know, it's disappointing to see so many people fall off my radar, you know, but I'm okay with it.
You got new people in your radar that were there this whole year
Yeah.
that you probably didn't even think that you would be cool with or have conversations with, but were actually the people that checked up on you every fucking week.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of people did that, and it made me feel like that's something I should be doing too, you know, and it felt okay. I just think that like the word tribe is the right word, because things are very tribal now, you know, and people are like excluding people don't have broad base of friends anymore. And sometimes it's just because all those things get separated by, they just don't believe the same things that you believe anymore, you know, and that's kind of messed up, you know, that it had to be exposed this way. But you know, whatever it is,
Yeah,
it is.
it did. It was kind of, yeah, because I remember at the beginning of everything, I was like, dude, I thought this person was like my homie, and now they're fucking posting shit that I don't agree on, or maybe I do agree on, and like now I'm closer to you because I agree with the stuff that you agree with, or I'm not agreeing with your stuff. So damn, I thought you were my best friend, and now we're not agreeing on the same topics, you know? So yeah, definitely the whole COVID thing
What about you,
definitely has showed you who people are, you know?
Jenny? You've been locked in your house for a fucking year. How are things? How are you coming out of this thing?
I went in like real lockdown, like not like I limit myself to outdoor. I like do not go out. If I do go to the grocery store, which I haven't been, like I get everything delivered. We quarantine packages before they come in our house. Like we're like fucking psychos. I'm not a psycho because I'm not a germaphobe, but like I also like left my house and was like, I don't like rules, and so I left my house and I was like, I'm just gonna hug people because I don't give a fuck. And I was with someone with COVID and I hugged them. And so I was like, well, this is what I get for not following rules. But I've been really strict, and we live in a situation where we just can't be like negligent. I think that it definitely wears on you in the sense of like needing to be around people, and I need like contact, and I need like outlets, and I need nature, and I need all these things, and I think it's been very taxing in that sense. I think it's very much Groundhog's Day, to where like every day is like it's just
the same over and over again.
And it's noon, and then it's 4 p.m. and then it's bedtime, and I think that's been very difficult in that sense of like purpose. I think it made me slow down enough to see what's important. And I think for me, relationships have always been really important to me. But I think I've always been such a workaholic that it was like, well, you'll be there, and I have shit I got to do. And, you know, like we'll touch base after I get all my shit done. And I think that is not the quality of relationships that I want in my life anymore. I really want to be more like there, you know, like, and I just think that people,
you want to be there for the people that have been there for you. And even though that you haven't been around those people for a whole year, it shows you the people that are down for you and not our party friends.
I think I just took relationships for granted a bit. And I think I just don't want to take relationships for granted. And my circle went down as well through COVID. And for me, I took that and I put that energy into the relationships I do have and that I value, is like where I want to spend more time to like try to nurture, or where I think before in my life, it was just like, these are just there, and they're going to be there, and I'm going to do my thing, and they'll be there when I'm done doing my thing. And I think that was such a self-absorbed way to look at it. And so now I think that was like something I take away from it, is just like relationships are what you put into it, and relationships are what you like, you give what you give. And also I think it made me slow down enough to think that I'm a real, like, if I'm involved in something professionally, it's like I bleed that. And I think that there's a balance that I need to understand of like a turn off switch. I don't have that turn off switch. I still struggle that today, that turn it off.
You both have that problem.
Well, yeah, like I mean, just instantly, like today, like my GM was like texting me all day, or like yesterday she was texting me all day, and I'm like, I'm just gonna take this time to like, I was at the beach yesterday. I wanted to enjoy the beach. I wanted to watch the surfers. I wanted to watch the fucking sand. I wanted to do this. I'm not gonna text you back. Guess what? I'm sorry, but before I would fucking text you back, whether I'm at the beach or fucked up and I'm fucked up drunk and I've taken a couple of shots, I'm gonna text you back. It might not be the best text, but I'm gonna text you back. Now I'm like, you know what? No, I'm enjoying this time, because this is what I'm gonna enjoy right now. Because guess what? The last year I've been enjoying this time, and I took for granted like the times that I'm spending at the beach, or you know, hanging out with him. Because we could die tomorrow.
What do we?
You know what I mean? Exactly. What are you gonna do?
What are we doing with this like heavy? You know, and I think that we've created this society of like having to like hustle so hard, and I naturally feel that way, and like. But it's also like a good reminder that there's like a lot more to that, and you can't take any of that away, you know, like, and I think what I'm excited to do after this is to find balance. And I don't think it's going to come easy to me, but I do want to find a balance of like work hard, but like don't lose
yourself,
the relationship,
what you found in this last year.
Relationships, experiences, things like that are, you know, something I want to take.
You know, it's funny because over the years, I've seen you guys both just bleed for your jobs. I mean, literally fucking bleed for people who for sure didn't deserve the amount of loyalty you guys were throwing at them, you know? And like, and I don't mean to say that those people were bad people. They're just employers doing what employers do, right? So you get employees, they work hard for you, you appreciate that. But, you know, when push comes to shove, you know, and they got to feed themselves or feed you, reality is they're always going to like, you're going to be the one on the block, you know? And sometimes I've seen the both of you guys be like completely wrecked at the lack of loyalty that your employers show you, you especially D, and when it comes time for them to make a decision that's going to hurt you in some way, you know. So like, um, I I've never really felt like that about jobs. Um, I've been burned by employers before. I've been in the situation where I felt like I put more into the relationship than they did for sure. But at the end of the day, I've watched you guys just like put in fucking hours that of your lives that you're never gonna get back for somebody who doesn't think enough of you to get you some help, or you know, to really, they just let you go until you burn, until you collapse under the weight. And I think one of the things about COVID is that that's been taken away from a lot of people. That whole like um, thing where if the business isn't happening, how do you define yourself outside of work? You know, so maybe that's the best thing, right? So everybody is getting a chance to figure out how to define themselves outside of their jobs. And I know you got to pay bills, and I know you got to put food on the table and keep the lights on and all that shit. We all understand that's the purpose of a job. Maybe that's the only purpose of a job, right? Maybe that's the only.
But that should be the only purpose of a job,
Yeah.
not to take away your fucking sanity and fucking make you feel like, oh, you need to do this, need to do these things for these people because guess what? They're paying your bills. Guess what? You're there no matter what, and they're going to be paying your bills no matter what. So don't sacrifice that. Like if I'm going to want a Sunday and Monday off, I'm taking that off. And if you don't want that, like we're gonna have a problem. I'm sorry.
I agree with that too. Like I feel like I spent a lot of my adult life judging my value off of my dedication. Like, you know, and like also like when my life went to shit, was more of a reason to like jump into this like job. So it was a lot of my identity of who I felt I was. But I agree with you. It's like when you strip all that away and you're like, you know, I'm this GM and now I'm not a GM anymore. Who am I and what do I want to be?
Yep. Yeah. It definitely turns your lifestyle on. It makes you look at your life a different way. And it's like, okay, well, what do I want? And two, I feel like those people that are in those high positions maybe will turn around and like accept the people that are underneath them and realize like, okay, calm down. It's not that big of a deal. You have 2 or 3 people under you that can fucking do all this work. Make your life a little simpler. Fucking delegate your work. And same thing with us, you know? And we're just hard workers that we're always there, but we need to know like, if I don't want to work a Tuesday, if I don't want to work a Monday, if I don't want to call my friends back, if I don't want to fucking like that's what I like about COVID. It taught us what was more important in life.
Yeah. It taught me that I could survive, you know.
And survival. Yeah, 100%.
But I just think it's like, and that's the attitude that we should have had all along, you know, because one day your fucking job could just be gone. And it happened. It happened a year ago, like this week, right? A year ago this week, everybody was like, well, we're shutting down. And everything fucking shut down, you know, not just service people, but like, you know, everything. The donut shops fucking shut down, you know, things that like you didn't think would happen. And so there's all these people out of work. And I think there's lots of people struggling with what their identity is going to be going forward, you know.
But also because we were forced upon, they realized what, you know, like, what am I grinding for? I'm grinding for this big house that, you know, maybe my kids are in college or like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just, I think
that's what I was saying. What am I fucking working for? I'm working 2 jobs for what? Now I go to 1 job. What am I working for? To fucking have an apartment? What the fuck? That's what I'm grinding for? To live every fucking day to buy this fucking apartment? Fuck you. No, I'm gonna go fucking I'm gonna go out to the water. I'm gonna bike ride. I'm gonna fucking, that made me appreciate life a little bit more. And notice the fact that I live 5 minutes from the fucking beach and I need to do shit with my life. And I need to go experience the fucking beach life because a lot of people come here on vacation. They don't come here to live. They come here to vacation, just like HB. And guess what? We live in the best area. New York, another spot, vacation area. Everybody's fucking there. Be grateful for where we live, right? Be grateful.
I think something for me personally is like, I think I'm in a unique situation because my kids are small and wanting to embrace that moment. But it also was like a big eye opener that I've always bled for people to make them successful. And I think that's kind of fucked up. Like, I've never bled to make myself successful, ever. I think that's an interesting concept that I'd like to change at one point.
And think about the times that you've, Jen, that you've like helped somebody open a restaurant, let's say, and you know, they're understaffed, undercapitalized, they're unorganized, things are all fucked up.
Which is every restaurant ever.
Well, yeah, okay, but you know, you're there trying to hold it all together, and then, you know, somewhere down the road, it's like, you know, you want to feel like you're a part of that thing, part of that dream, but you know what? You're kind of not. You know, like you're building someone else's house. You know, you really are.
You're building someone else's house, and when you part ways, they're gonna find a new you. And I think that's a hard pill to swallow.
I think that's why it was a hard pill to swallow for all of us during our early ages of life at any establishment, because we're fucking badass people. Like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? But there's always somebody better and younger. And there's always going to be a different GM who's going to have different ideas.
But on the contrary to that, Dee, I also think by being in the positions that I've been in, I also realize how hard it is to find people like that. Like, it's very balanced, right? Like, there is going to be people who come up and that can take your position.
That is true.
You realize as you're the one trying to find yous, right? Like, I'm always trying to find me.
It's hard. It's hard to find. Yeah, because we've had those conversations where like, why can't we have like a bar back that's like this, and this, and this, and this? And it's like, because those fucking work ethics aren't there anymore. It's different.
I mean, I think that's
and even our work ethics are changing now because of COVID. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you know, there's a story that I always tell, and I hope it get me in trouble, but there's a story I always tell that I was in this restaurant. We had opened, we were like a year. Now, like, mind you, I was never trained. I was never like, it was like, I'm a hard worker. I'm going to figure this out and you'll guide me a little bit. But it was like, there was no manual to this. It's really like your feet in the fire. And I was responsible for everything. So, you know, shit fucking is brutal in the service industry, brutal in restaurants. We were open for maybe a year. And I had, it was just one of those fucking days where it's like everything went wrong. The restaurant was backed up like an hour. It was like people's orders were wrong. The bussers, we were short staffed. The servers, it was just like it was like a manager fucking nightmare. It was like one table after another, and people are just like, my shit's wrong. I am like upset about this. And it's like, okay, well, like, I'll take everything off of your bill and I'll grab you some dessert. And it was like, well, my server didn't like give me my check. I've been waiting here for so long. And then another table was like, I've been waiting for this. And like, you know, it was just like one after another. And it was like 90-hour weeks. And it was like, you go home after the place is closed. You go to sleep for a few hours. You get up really early so that you can finish your paperwork in the morning and you could get to the lunch in time. It was just like a insane grind. I was so burnt out, but without acknowledging I was burnt out. And it was just one of those really fucking bad days. And you've been hammered the whole night shift and you're like, it's fucking over. I'm going to go to my office. I'm going to cry tears and I'm going to fucking pick myself up on the floor and I'm going to like put my face in front of the crowd or put my face in front of the staff. So I went to my office. I'm like about to cry my tears and they got a knock on the door and they're like, someone at table 13 wants to talk to you. And I'm like, okay. I go
table 13 of all tables, table 13.
So I go out and I'm like, hi, I'm Jen, you know, like, can you like catch me up on like what's going on? And he's like this younger guy and he's like, you know, I've lived in the area a long time. I visit all these restaurants. This is like my second time with you. My order's completely wrong. And I'm like, oh, I apologize about that. Like, what did you order? How can I fix it? You know, type like going into like recovery mode. And he's like, you don't have to do anything. He was like, I've watched you touch every single table in this restaurant. I've just watched you apologize a million times. I've watched you give things away, mend people's thoughts. Like I've watched you for the last hour. He was like, I've also watched, it makes me teary to this moment. He's like, I also watched you. He was like, I've also watched your owners sit on the patio, drink their wine, not give a shit that you're getting ass handed to you. And they have no clue what you've been going through all night. Yeah, my shit's fucked up. Like my burger's wrong. But you're doing a really good job. And it still makes me teary. And I was like, hold up. I'm going to go to the back real quick, shed these fucking tears so that my staff doesn't see me. And I'm going to come back. And I went and I did, and I cried. And then I came back out and you're like, you're right. You know, like, and I think that was everything to me because you're going to bleed. You're going to fucking take it in the ass. You're going to like get your ass fucking handed to you. And your owners are going to
not give a fuck.
Live in the house. Their business is going to be what it is. You know, they're going to be the one who takes the profit and they're going to be the one that does it all, you know, and that's everything to me. And I think I quit within the next like 6 months and I went corporate because I was like, I want to be trained. I want to know the right way to do this because I'm figuring it out on my own. And it's clearly like there's pros and cons. And then that's when I like left to Europe and I was like, you know what? I'm never again going to work for somebody who doesn't appreciate everything that I give. And I still have it, you know, like I work for a really great owner and it's, he's a lot different than anything I've ever had, but I'll never forget that moment of him being like, I'm watching you bleed for something that you're giving him. And he's gonna go home and he's gonna sleep just fucking fine.
100%. They sleep fine, and you're the one who's fucking stressed out and fucking running your ass like a chicken with their head cut off. But that's what we like about this industry.
In my business, it's not just your industry. In my business, people hire me usually to turn something around, turn something that they've totally fucked up, try to fix it for them, right? So
well, that's what I'm saying about industry. It's like anything service industry is like the industry, you know.
And like I've used to focus on trying to fix all the problems, you know, but now it's bad. I guess maybe my attitude has turned 180 degrees from that. Now I just focus on the owners. And I'm like, look, this is what you're doing wrong. This is what you got to do. This business is fucked up because you're fucked up. You know, EMTs are EMTs. They've already been trained. You don't have to teach them anything about being an EMT. You just have to run your fucking business. And man, you can't even imagine like how badly they take it. You know, I had one that was like, I'm paying you here to fix this. And I'm like, well, you know what? till you fix how fucked up you are, it's never going to be fixed. So maybe we should just part ways right now, because I'm not going to be able to fix how fucked up you are. You got to fix it. And it's like this. I'm telling you, it's not good for my bank account. Okay. But it is the best fucking feeling ever when you're like, you're too fucked up and I'm going to fire you as a client. And it's like a thing that I've started doing. And I really have taken on some bad clients this last year, people who started their business with no money, no experience, no nothing, and they want like fucking miracles. And I'm not going to be that guy that just is like their beast of burden, And then when the company's all fixed, then they want to get rid of me. They want to end my contract. I had a couple like that this last year, and it's like, man, what the fuck am I doing? Why am I trying to build this guy's house for him? Because I'm never going to own it. It's just going to be for him. He's going to pay me a few bucks to do it, but.
And the reality is he's going to shit the pot in the future. Cause and that's,
yeah.
Especially with restaurants and in the service industry for us. I mean, how many people who have never worked in an industry own it, which I think is the worst. It's like me opening a mechanic shop being like, why would anybody do that? But they do often. Or
everybody.
At least be a good patron so that you have some idea. But also, I think too, the problem is that they don't want to fix themselves. It's everybody else's fault. But they're going to bar rescue, right? Like, how many bars just went right back to bullshit after they got this brand new, beautiful, they were given all the answers. Here's how you pass the test. And they're still like, I'm going to use a fucking Sharpie. I'm going to fail anyway. It's like, it's wild.
It's to me, it's always like this arc where at the beginning of the relationship, you're so needed and they're so desperate and they just want you so bad. And then 6 months into it, they're like, oh, I could have done that. And I'm like, why the fuck didn't you? I had a conversation with someone just recently, a company down in San Diego, and they're like, well, we could do all this. I'm like, well, yeah, you could. Why the fuck didn't you do it? And they're like, well, and they're just like dumbfounded that I would say that. I'm like, if you're so fucking smart, and, they give me they would give me this like thing. It's always the same type of phrase. It's like, this is a business like any other business. I'm like, it's not. It's not. It's an ambulance company. It ain't a fucking donut shop. A donut shop's another business too. You're gonna run your fucking ambulance company like somebody runs a donut shop? And they're like, well, that's ridiculous. I'm like, so that's what you're fucking telling me right now. Yeah, you used to own a fucking gas station. Okay, great. Fucking happy for you. But that doesn't mean you can run this type of business on your own the same way you ran the gas station. And
I think it's also like people are very are not self-aware. I think too, right, that's what therapy is. It's like an outside looking in and being like, I think we tie emotion to a lot of our things. It's like a therapist coming in and being like, listen, you're overcomplicating this, or you're doing this, expecting this, and this isn't going to be that's what you are, And I think for people to be like, well, you're wrong, or I could have done that, is like, your therapist, I'm paying you, but you're wrong. It's like, well, that's what they're coming in. That's their job, right? Is to come in and assess the situation and be like, hey, maybe you shouldn't have, lit that car on fire.
And tell you the truth.
The truth, exactly.
That's what you're paying for. You're paying for the truth.
Yeah.
This is funny, Jen, because I know you can relate to this. A big red flag for me now is anyone who's brought their wife, girlfriend, or child into the business to help run it after it's all fucked up. If somebody brings their wife in and puts their wife in charge of anything, if she's not from the industry that we're working in right now, it's like, I won't do the job anymore. If they've got their kid, if they've got a son that they're like, oh, we want you to mentor him to take over the job, and he's just some fucking rich kid that has been given a company to run, I won't do it anymore. It's like, and I know you had an experience where someone's wife had come in and was like, oh, I know everything about how to present a business, and they're like, the place is burning down, and they're like, oh, we'll just change the curtains. If we just change those curtains, everything's going to be so much better, or let's buy new napkins. Let's buy different colored fucking napkins, and I've seen that happen, and it just makes me insane,
There's so many people who own businesses that you're kind of like, what? And I think for people like all of us really is like, we are building other people's houses, and I think that's like very dangerous place to be for being that. Like, you think that we would be that like-minded, we should be building our own house, definitely. And
yeah,
that is what I've taken from COVID, definitely.
Yep, I agree.
Yeah, I'm waiting for Dee to open her own bar.
Oh, open my own bar? No. Yeah, you know how that is, and I know how that is. Guess what? If you had a bar this year during COVID, guess what? You had to have a restaurant, because guess what? Your bar was not allowed to be open, so you had to have a restaurant. So yeah, no, we're not opening up a bar. If anybody's opening up a bar, they're gonna automatically put a fucking semi-kitchen in it just because of this whole thing that happened. You know what I mean? Like, they're not gonna do this shit again.
I used to want to own a bar so bad until I became good friends with Johnny.
Yeah.
Johnny convinced me
not to.
He never said don't open a bar. He and I talked about it.
They never say not to. They just scoot around the whole fucking thing about it. And like, it's
never gonna fuck that. A bar or a restaurant is just something. I mean, maybe if I had fuck you money and I didn't care, maybe.
100%.
But not if I had to make a living off it. No fucking way.
If I had fuck you money, of course I would make it a little pizza joint. I would make it like a flatbread pizza joint, like charcuterie board, whatever, and like beers and wine. That's it. If I had fuck you money. But like, that's like fuck you money, that includes our like food. So with the whole COVID, that would have been safe, you know what I mean? But anybody who had a bar, just a bar during COVID, they got screwed.
The other part of that is, if I had fuck you money, why wouldn't I be on a beach in fucking Australia somewhere? Or fucking Tahiti?
And that's another thing. If you had fuck you money, why would you even invest in a fucking bar?
Find somewhere to create work for myself? What the fuck? I'd take all my friends with me. I'd get a private plane and take all my friends with me.
Hell yeah. Yes. Compound, right?
Hey, guess what? We don't want you to own a bar. We want you to take us on the airplane with you. Done.
Yes. Well, Gio, thank you so much for coming on. It was really fun. We have to have you on more often.
Yeah, I had a good time. Thanks.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
It was really great.
Even with Dee constantly fucking interrupting me, it was fun.
Oh wait, I'm sorry. Did you need to talk louder? Or I'm sorry if I was like overstepping, but guess what, bitch? You gotta talk louder. You gotta step on me. I like to be stepped on.
You have 5 words, Gio, make them count.
Yeah, right.
3 to 5. 3 to 5.
Yeah. I think you only had like about 47 words on this episode. So
should we do a shot before we leave?
100%. Are you kidding me? I'm sorry. I don't know about this green box shit, okay? Because I know when I'm talking and you're talking, like, it's still cutting you off. So guess what? Be louder, bitches.
Don't make excuses now. The podcast's over, Dee.
I tried.
No, it's not. It's still recording, asshole.
Cheers, motherfuckers.
Cheers.
Okay. Hey, bitches, if you're watching us on YouTube, make sure you subscribe. Hit that subscribe button. If you're listening to us on Spotify, cool beans, yo. But we also have a live Instagram. I don't know if we're going on there after this. It's kind of late. It's New York Times, bitches. New York Times. I know there's a couple of you guys right now hitting me up, but guess what?
I have to see if the sky has fallen downstairs or upstairs.
I heard some
100%. The sky has fallen down. We're probably not going to make it to Instagram Live. I'm just saying, Blue's house is flooded right now, and she's still doing the YouTube. Like, get it with it. Get it with the podcast. That's my best friend. That's my best friend.
Jen, I think all the screaming and crying's over. You should probably just stay in that room you're in for a little bit longer.
100%. We heard all of that.
This is where the snacks are. So I'm just going to like go. Nick's going to come down and just be shoving chips in my mouth.
I like it. So it's going to be a flooded room and snacks. Baby snacks and flooded rooms. That's what we're talking about, kids.
Yes. Well, thank
Shot.
you, Gio. We love. Oh, wait. I already took mine.
Did you already take yours?
Yeah, I took
Yes,
mine.
you're taking another one. Hey.
All right.
Okay, guys. What is she going to say right now? Oh, okay. You're not going to say it?
No, what am I going to say? What do I always say?
Well, what do we say? What's our fucking podcast?
On the Fly Podcast. Check us out on YouTube. Make sure you hit that like button because it moves us up in the rotation algorithms. On the Fly Podcast.
Oh, are we doing our own theme song? On the podcast. Wait, I didn't even say it the way I said it. On the Fly Podcast. Gio's like, fuck you, bitches. Okay, cheers.
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 Thanks for hanging out with us. Gio, you are the best. We love you so very much. You know we love you, right?
Yep, I love you back.
Okay, just saying. But you can also follow us on Spotify, YouTube, and
Apple.
There you go. Apple. There you go. Bye, guys.